Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
Everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. We have a fun day for you here planned on Crime and Sports. As always, good stuff here. Before we get started, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Got all your stuff that you could possibly want. Information, merch, tickets to live shows for Small Town Murder, anything you can imagine. Shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get that. While you're at it, by the way, listen to our other two shows, Small Town Murder and Your Stupid Opinions, because they're funny. And who doesn't need some funny in their life? That said, if you want more, if what we're giving you isn't enough, you're like, how many? Yes, they make 46 shows a week, but I want more.
There's more.
We got it for you. It's Patreon. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all the bonus material, and it's great. For anybody $5 a month or above, you not only get Crime and Sports bonus, you get the Small Town Murder bonus too.
Exactly.
Everything. All that. Huge back catalog, hundreds of episodes you've never heard before immediately. Good stuff. This week, what you got? New ones every other week. This week, for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about the New England Patriots' various cheating scandals. So that'll be...
How many are there?
A few. That'll be fun stuff. We'll get into that. And then for Small Town Murder, we are going to get back into Ed Gein a little bit here.
A little deeper.
Ed Gein Part 2, and get into some of the psychology and also what was the final resolution of his home and the belongings and all the weird stuff.
Happened?
There's a lot of good stuff to get into. We're going to tie up all Ed Gein loose ends. So we'll do that. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show too. Check that out. We're going to have a lot of fun. And let's get right into this without further ado. With our asshole of the week. And I remember this guy very, very, very clearly, and you will too, because most of his fuckery was as an Arizona Cardinal. So we will know him. David Boston. Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Boy, did he have potential. Jesus.
Well, yeah, he also had a body full of steroids, so that was a lot of his potential.
He's 6'4", 6'5". He's
yeah,
so big.
And he was bigger than a defensive lineman, and he just shoved cornerbacks to the ground, and it was like, well, yeah, he's on so many steroids.
That's probably how you should play that position.
It's ridiculous. Like, there hasn't
been outrunning him.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys that have played it since then. Yes, because most receivers aren't like, let me get bulkier than a defensive end. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. And then he was real good when he was
If I knock
up.
the corner down and take off running, it's harder for him to catch me from the ground.
That's what it is, really. If I just throw him to the ground. I also took his money and fingered his butthole a little bit. Then he's not going to want to get up. So we'll get into this here. He's born August 19th, 1978.
Yeah.
He is from Humble, Texas, and we know from Small Town Murder that they call it Humble, Texas, because, I don't know, they can't read. That's all I can imagine. He's a big guy, 6'2" is his height. But
well, they don't pronounce the H unless there's a W, James.
That's, the W before what is fine. That H is hard. Cool Whip, it'll get you good. But Humble, Texas, it's humble.
Right.
Yeah. You're not just being dicks, honestly. Think about that.
Come on.
Think about that. That's crazy. So he's 6'2". He's listed at 228 in his playing days.
6'2"?
6'2", David Ross.
I think he's bigger.
No, they always list guys bigger than they are, not smaller.
Really?
Yeah, that's nobody. What egomaniac
I understand
athlete
that, but
would be
saying,
like, yeah, it's cool, just list me less than I am. They're always taller than they are.
I'd do it that way.
Yeah,
Not make them scared to see me. I want to show up and then them get scared.
They want it to look cool in the program. You know what I mean?
6'2".
6'2".
Figured he was bigger. He just looked bigger?
It's still, he was enormous. Plus, a 6'2" is still tall for a receiver. That's receivers,
sure.
There's bigger ones now. They're trying to get everybody who's 6'4". When you get a guy who's 6'4", 6'5" as a receiver, he's a monster and a freak,
All DK Metcalf.
Megatron and fucking Randy Moss and guys like that. There's just not a lot of them. So, okay, let's do this here. There he's born. He's 78. He's born in. And one of his grandfathers was a minister for 51 years.
Wow.
That is some ministering. Holy shit. And you will use steroids and grow big and catch touchdowns, I believe was one of his sermons.
I mean, any career that you do for over 50 is really incredible, but this
impressive.
There's not a lot of heavy lifting in that.
No, you're yelling a lot.
That's a lot of smooth-handed.
As long as they keep putting shit in the plate, I guess 51 years is whatever, right?
I'll keep going.
I'll keep talking. Why not? I got stuff to say.
That book's thick.
I was just going to say, though, after 51 years, you'd think you'd just go, I got nothing. I've read every part of this to you hundreds of times.
Guys, how come you're not living right?
I mean, honestly, if you haven't figured it out by now, I haven't done my job. I retire. This is crazy. How many more times can I read this one book to you before it's... This is nuts.
How many people need saving?
Jesus, fuck, man. So that's what he would say on stage, too. Jesus, fuck, man. What's wrong with you people?
Sweet Christ.
For the love of fucking balls, help me, people. Do something. Help yourselves. So one of his, the other great-grandfather and a great-uncle were both dentists. Okay.
That's good money there.
Yeah, that's great money. His name, by the way, is David Byron Boston. Byron. Right? Yeah, Byron. His father's name is Byron. That's his middle name. So
we got the middle
did
name.
Not junior him, which is really, really nice of them to do, actually. They could have really screwed it up from the beginning, but they don't. So he's got potential right now. His father would be an NFL referee when Boston was a kid.
Is that right?
Yes, Byron Boston is his dad. So I guess later on when he came into the league, it was a big deal because when David came into the league, because his father was not allowed to ref his games, which makes sense. Yeah, you're not going to call your kid for a fucking offensive holding. Yeah, a lot of get off him, Jesus Christ, he's all over him. This guy,
there's a lot of PI around here.
I'm throwing him out of the game. He's really been hanging on this one guy all game here. So he worked as a line judge for one of the preseason games, actually, between the Cardinals and Chargers in 1999. And his father's also an H&R Block tax consultant.
This fucking guy's busy.
All those refs are all...
Yeah,
they all do that. And a lot of them are like financial guys or lawyers, actually, because the
lawyers are popular. Yeah.
It's strange, but the NFL rule book is really complicated.
It is.
There's a lot to it that's complicated, and so much so that you really need lawyers to fucking figure it out. It's not just, some meathead that goes out there like, I'm going to ref a game. You're down. It's not that at all. These guys are all nerds.
I tried to ref high school football long time ago, and I went to the train. I'm like, I can't do this.
This is crazy.
I love football, and this is so confusing.
It's so confusing. That's why you have to be a lawyer like that. Ed Hockley was he was a big lawyer in Phoenix the whole time he was an NFL ref. So his mother's name is Carolyn, and she's a retired teacher. So he does not come from dummies and dipshits and ne'er-do-wells. His mom's a teacher. His dad's an NFL referee / tax guy.
Right.
So, like, he has no excuse, is what I'm getting at, for any of his fuckery.
And
here.
uncles are DDSs.
Dentists and ministers and all this shit in his family. Like, it's very silly. He's got an older brother. Guess what his name is?
Byron?
Byron Jr. That's right.
There he is.
So, this family, they're either juniors, they name their kids junior, or junior
It's
adjacent.
prevalent,
It's
yeah.
in here.
Comes around.
His brother was a Dallas police officer, worked for the drug task force.
Really?
Yes. So everyone in his family is very upstanding, basically,
Yeah.
and, in terms of
Above
how
board.
society looks at people. You know what I mean? Ministers, dentists, police officers, teachers, they're, all that shit. And his sister, Alicia, is a lawyer. So
Is that right?
everyone's doing everything right except for this fucking dummy. So let's hear about it.
David.
Except him. He'll also have a couple of sons later on. Jalen and Braden are his kids. So no drama.
Really?
No drama with the names of, a David Jr., unfortunately. So that's okay.
But he did the whole 2008 thing.
Oh, yeah,
before,
Jalen
whatever.
and Braden. And they're both with Y's in it. Jaybray. So got to have that.
Yep.
I guess he didn't like doing his homework in high school. He had to be forced by his mother to do it, who was a teacher. And it's mainly because he was a football player and he was really good. Yeah. So he was like, Ma, you don't understand. I don't have to be smart.
Mom, I'm gonna skip the line on a lot of things.
And no matter what you teach me, I'm going to be hitting the head so many times. The odds of me retaining it are very low. Very low.
Very slim chances, Mom.
His first 2 years in high school, he was a big speed guy, not a big muscle guy, because he's not built like that normally. He's like a tall, skinny guy. And he was doing that. And then he ended up shooting up 5 inches in high school.
Oh.
So he went from
That'll
being
slow you down.
a little speedy slot guy to like a number one receiver guy who's over 6 feet tall and that kind of guy.
And a baby deer, too, because you don't get used to that when it happens fast.
And the funny thing is, some of these athletes do, though, and that's the people who
Really?
Yeah, some of these
Some
athletes
just
still
excel,
grow, and they're so whatever. But the year before his junior year, that summer, he grew 5 inches and gained 40 pounds.
Jesus.
Which I get the 5 inches, but 40 pounds? How do you fucking put 40 pounds on?
10 pounds an inch almost.
That's
Jesus.
insanity, man. So he loved his new size, and he was all confident then, like, I'm big now. So he felt, which I can imagine on the football field.
Man. Yeah.
On the football field, to be a smaller guy on a field of giants has to be disconcerting a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you have to. A lot of these receivers, I think they have that swagger, because if they let their thoughts take over, they would be terrified of being murdered out there. So they have to have this overconfident thing with the receiver. I really feel that way, because they're the skinniest, smallest guys on the field a lot of times.
Right.
And they're running across the middle, putting themselves open to be blown up by middle linebackers. Yeah. So
and he played in an era in league when that was a thing, man.
You could still hit a guy when he came down with the ball. You couldn't. Nowadays you have to let him come down, stop. He has to be able to call his mother and have a snack before you're allowed to tackle him. It's fucking ridiculous.
A little juice box, right?
So that's why my least favorite thing is when they take like a mediocre current quarterback stats, and they're like, they're better than Dan Marino's. Yes, because you're allowed to you can't tackle people. That's why. When Dan Marino played, you could hit a guy while he was in the air catching the ball. You could murder him. So it's a little bit different.
And it's the
whoever Elway, pick who you want.
The roughing the passer calls are It's really amazing. It's
crazy.
It's mind-boggling. I don't know how a ref can even call it.
Yeah,
I don't know what you do, because I mean the quarterback's still holding the ball. He gets tackled and they call roughing. It's like but
you didn't tackle him. You tackled him too hard. Like, I'm sorry. Should I have written him a note first? Well, you know what I mean? Like, should I have slipped him a little thing? Hey, man, are you free in about 4 seconds for a tackle?
Well, it's that game. It's at such a high speed that when a quarterback is tackled, they have to watch that and determine whether or not that tackle was too hard. How do you do it?
And how the fuck are you not supposed to tackle hard? Do you know how hard it is to get past an offensive lineman who's trying not to let you get past them? You get past him, it's got to be at full speed. So what are you supposed to do? Slow up and then
I'm
what?
Supposed to now take it off a little bit?
And then also, these quarterbacks now, the last 20 years, the entire quarterbacking industry has been about quick releases. So if you don't get to this guy quickly, he's getting rid of the ball.
And on top of that, the pure passer that's like a pocket guy he's also can scramble and he's fast and he's wiry and tricky. And if you don't grab him and throw him to the fucking ground fast, he's going to get out of that tackle. Get away. And then now all of a sudden I'm on his highlight. Yeah. Fuck you. I'm not going to be on SportsCenter.
Patrick Mahomes is hard to tackle. He fucking squirms and twists and shit. So you got to pop him good to get him down.
Right.
And they've changed all and it's fine to do this. I'm just saying, don't compare stats and be like, obviously.
Can't act like they're better than somebody.
Obviously, Kirk Cousins is better than John Elway. Look at his completion percentage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they changed all the rules between then and then to make it so there's a lot more completions. That's why. Because you can't tackle a guy. You got to wait till he turns around and makes a football move before you're allowed to go near him.
And nobody's going to keep watching a 6-3 game, even if they've got the under.
Yeah. Well,
they need this shit high scoring to keep people's attention.
That's the dumb part is they don't need it to be high scoring because they have money in it still. So it doesn't fucking matter. Those guys could go out there and change the rules to jerking each other off. If people have money on it, they'll watch and root for the fucking tackle to come first. That's just the way it is.
Nobody wants to watch defensive games, though. I fucking love them.
I don't mind them. And again, they're gambling on it. They're going to watch it. Everyone's got a fantasy team, and everyone's got all this shit.
True,
They're going to watch anyway. They don't care. Fucking stupid. So anyway, off of that soapbox here.
It's two old men.
I was going to say, our old man yelling at the sky. Like, I don't mind that they change it, though. I'm not saying the game was better. I'm just saying don't compare stats on eras. Because you look at the 70s and you're, Joe Namath has a 51% completion percentage for his whole career. That's because you could literally pass interference was pretty much allowed until like 1975. Right. You could pop a receiver before the ball got there. What the fuck do you want from these people? They're not magicians.
And these monsters made a career out of it, and the crowd went nuts when it happened.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. So anyway, David Boston said, quote, being around football with my dad and being able to travel around to some of the games gave me a goal to reach for.
Right.
And it wouldn't seem so unattainable at that point, too, because you're walking into NFL stadiums.
Right.
So it seemed like,
And supported by a guy that's been around this shit. He's very well aware of what's capable.
And it wouldn't awe you so much, too. If you, as a kid, you walked into stadiums and, walked onto fields and stuff. You would get used to it, probably.
I remember the first time. It's majestic, man.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah.
It really is.
It's a different thing. So he became a big star for Humble High School on football and in basketball as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was really good. Football was his choice because he's like, I really like steroids, though. It helps much more.
Feels good.
In football, yeah. He still denies that, by the way, which is hilarious.
Really?
He, to this day, denies he did steroids.
Won't admit it.
Won't admit it, even though he was caught multiple times, as we'll talk about. Yeah. So he said if it wasn't for his dad, he might have played basketball in college. Okay. He said, I was this close. That's what he said, to playing basketball. He was named All-Region in basketball, All-State at safety, and All-American at wide receiver.
Jesus.
So, yeah, he's an all-state defensive back and an all-America wide receiver. So, one's region, one's state, and one's all-America. You pick the one you're all-American in, and that's wide receiver. So,
yeah, but he's all anything at all, and that's fucking amazing.
He's great at everything. As a senior, he caught 67 passes for 1,145 yards and 12 touchdowns, while also making 88 tackles and having 4 interceptions on defense. So, goddamn good. He was named the Greater Houston Area Player of the Year in 1995.
Greater Houston area.
The whole Houston area. Yeah. Everywhere where it'll flood every time it rains. He's the best.
Anything but Galveston.
Yeah. Anywhere in this fucking floodplain. It's all good. So he was the 9th best receiver in the nation by Super Prep, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. Imagine being a kid and being that, like,
I can't imagine.
God damn. Just imagine you're in high school and any magazine at all is writing an article about you. That'd be fucking insane. Your head would blow up. It wouldn't be able to get through doors.
Somebody in Prescott knowing my name, let alone somebody in fucking L.A.
People buy tickets, come to our shows. We go to live shows, and we come out on stage, and there's 1,000 people there, and they're yelling. Yeah. We're like, holy fuck, all these people are here. We're still amazed by it. It's incredible. If this was happening when I was 16, my head would have exploded. God.
I'd be dead. I'd be dead by the time I was 23.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Yeah, I would have like wrapped a fucking supercar around a pole like Paul Walker or something. You know, that would have
way worse.
Something.
Driving that motherfucker off the canyon.
Yeah, I can jump it.
Yeah, they'd arrest my corpse for littering on the Indian reservation.
Yeah, deservedly so. So he decided football. And he's All-American, so he got a lot of attention. He visited Michigan, Florida, Texas, all the big ones. I mean, these are all the big schools. And he ends up picking Ohio State University.
That's right.
The Ohio State. So
he went up there from down there.
Yeah. Well, he was just looking for the biggest schools that are on TV all the time. He wants to be a big high draft pick. He wants to be a high draft pick. I don't think he gives a fuck about it. I mean, winning is great, but that's so you're on television and you're a high draft pick. Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, and also then Ohio State in fucking 97, right?
96 he goes there. They've been good for...
That's a big deal.
They're a big deal for 60 years. You know what I mean? Since fucking, what's his name? Woody Hayes or whatever. They've been great. Is that his name? I think the guy who...
Probably.
Whatever. Anyway.
Who gives a shit?
He's... Fuck Ohio State. Who gives a flying shit about this? So he said, I went on a visit there, loved the school, and loved the players there. They had a lot of guys getting ready to enter the draft. See, that's all it's about.
Yeah.
Sean Springs, Eddie George, Joey Galloway.
Oh, wow.
So the environment was great. You know, I saw guys with like money in their pockets that their agents lent them.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. Out of all those schools, I just thought Ohio State felt like the right place.
And that it's probably the equivalent to what Humble is for high school football, because that's all fucking town is about.
That is all it's about.
Boy, do they love it.
Fuck, they love everything Ohio State there when you go there. That's all they talk about. Even all the homeless people ask you about Ohio State, literally. Swear to God.
The only other place that rivals it is like Madison with Wisconsin. That's the only other place that's anywhere close to the real fucking enthusiasm that they have for that shit.
It's like that's what must keep Columbus going, because you look at like Cleveland and Cincinnati and you're like, what happened to these places?
What's going on?
Yeah, so I'm not sure. So 96 Ohio State, they are 11-1. Okay. So second in the AP poll, not bad at all. Very, very good year for them, kicking ass. Joe Germain was the quarterback that year, and Stanley Jackson. And Tom Hoying was their third quarter. I wonder if that's the Hoyings, because there's other Hoyings that were in the NFL in the 90s there.
Probably then.
I would assume so. Yeah, Nick Goings was on the team. There's a NFL.
They had a Hoying and Going?
They had a Cumming and Bobby Cumming also. Yeah. Orlando Pace on that team as well.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, this is a lot of guys on this team. Mike Vrabel on that team. Wow, these are a lot of NFL players on here. Sean Springs, Antoine Winfield. And a punter. There you go. And even their punter went to the NFL.
Good Christ.
So that year he plays in 11 games, 29 receptions for 430 yards and 5 touchdowns as a freshman.
Not bad.
That's
not
pretty
bad at
fucking
all.
good. Yeah, 14.8 per reception also. And he caught the game-winning touchdown for Ohio State in the Rose Bowl at 18 years old.
Can you imagine the blowjobs?
Think about when he was...
Holy.
When they got off the plane back in Columbus, he was engulfed in a sea of tits. It was just...
God. Just a bunch of mouths open on the tarmac.
What a fucking wild time. He's 18.
Yeah.
Your life would be over, right? It would be done.
I'd be certainly drained.
I'd be dead by the end of the week. I swear to God. I would have been done.
My uncle's a dentist. I'm going to clean all of your teeth.
Oh, my God. Here's a new instrument. Your dentist probably doesn't use this all the time, but I do. 1997 Ohio State. They're 10-3 that year, and 12th in the polling. Not as good a year as they had the year before. But
hell of a drop, but I'm sure they lost a bunch of talent.
Well, yeah, they lost a lot of guys. So he, either way, this year he played in all 12 games, 70 receptions this year. So now he's a focal point, 930 yards, 14 touchdowns.
My God. Goddamn
fucking good, I would say. 1998, they go 11-1, and they're second in the final AP poll there. Yeah. Jesus, so Ohio State's always in the running. That's the thing about them.
Yeah.
Always. So, yeah, he's a starter. So this is his third year starting. He is going to end up with a lot of records, by the way, at school here. This year in 98, he plays in 11 games, 74 receptions, 1,330 yards, 18 yards a catch, 13 touchdowns. He's nasty.
Yeah.
He's nasty. He's also returning punts and kicks here. And he punts at least. He's returns 18 punts for an average of 14.9 per return as well, and a touchdown. He's doing really well. His 191 pass receptions as a Buckeye was a new record at the time. It was broken in 2019, but yeah. His 2,855 career receiving yards and 1,435 single-season receiving yards were school records until 2003, so he set them at the time. He had 34 career touchdown receptions and 1 2-point conversion and averaged 5.89 points per game. He's fucking crushing it. And he held the school touchdown reception record until 2021.
Jesus.
That's not bad. His game-winning 97 Rose Bowl touchdown, by the way, was with 19 seconds left.
Oh, my God.
So
97 yards?
No. It was 97. It was in 1997.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
1997 Rose Bowl. I'm like, where did 97 come from?
How long was the touchdown? Do you
5
know?
yards.
Like 18?
5 yards.
Okay.
But still, at the end of the game, the touchdown. I mean, everyone's remembering you. So
awesome.
Very good here. Now, March 16th, 1998. This has nothing to do with David Boston, but it will in the end here. That day, the Chargers trade their first-round draft pick, which is the 8th overall pick, with a 98 first-round draft pick here, a 1998 second-round pick, and Eric Metcalf and Patrick Sapp to the Cardinals for their 1998 first-round pick, which is the second pick overall. So they traded all that to get Ryan Leaf, because that's the second pick overall.
Really?
Yes, this will include the pick that the Cardinals got David Boston with, and Andre Wadsworth, and Corey Chavis.
What a great deal.
Great deal for the Cardinals. Corey Chavis was there forever. So
best deal the Cardinals have ever made.
Yeah,
right?
Usually their front office is a fucking tire fire, so that's
Complete
pretty impressive.
morons.
Yeah. Well, they did fuck up by then not signing Wadsworth and letting him sit there in training camp like they always do, and then he ended up being a bust, and so that's they did fuck up their draft picks, don't worry.
Yeah.
They will fuck up a high-round draft pick. But
Wadsworth was only a bust because of injury, right? Because he was a good player, but he was okay. Did he fuck his knees? Was that the problem?
Yeah, his knees, and it was the whole thing. It starts from the very beginning when they don't sign a guy and they sit out the whole free agency and they sign him in week 2 because they're cheap. To save $100,000, they'd fuck up a whole season for a guy. It's fucking stupid, and they did it every year back then because they're just cheap.
They did a lot. Yeah.
They go, we don't do all those bells and whistles. Well, yeah, you do because you're in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, that's why the draft is also silly, because you can be drafted by a team who's like, we don't act like all the other teams.
Right. We're going to fuck you over here.
Fuck that. That's crazy.
And make you hate the climate.
Yeah. So the draft is in 1999. It's one of the worst drafts of all time, it's known as. Yeah. It's fucking terrible, which is funny. I love that. By the way, the passing leader for 1999, who do you think it was? Passing yards leader in the NFL.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
Passing?
Yeah, passing yards leader.
Was it the Cincinnati quarterback?
No. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, boy.
Steve Berline. You'd never get
and he played for the Cardinals?
No. I'm talking in the NFL. I said,
he was playing for Tampa at the time, right?
No. Definitely not.
Where was he?
Tampa had no offense.
Carolina?
Carolina is where Berline was, yeah. Well, no, because then Kerry Collins was there. Where the fuck was Berline at the time? Did Kerry Collins get hurt or something, maybe?
I don't know. Was Berline playing for the Rams?
No. I don't remember where the fuck he was. It doesn't matter.
It had to be Carolina or Jacksonville.
The rushing and receiving leaders were Edgerrin James and Marvin Harrison, both of the Colts at the time. This year, first pick overall. Do you know this 1999 draft?
99?
We've talked about it before.
Oh, man. And it wasn't Ryan Leaf?
Nope.
No, because he was
that
number
was 98. 2. That was 98.
Oh, 98.
98 was Manning
99?
and Leaf. 99.
Jesus Christ.
Tim Couch of the Browns. Big bust.
Oh, man.
A huge bust. So that was when first year Cleveland came back, too, as the Cleveland Browns again. So there was they drafted this quarterback, and it's going to be the future, and he was terrible.
Big news. Wayfair's President's Day clearance is on. Right now through February 18th, get up to 70% off everything home with free and easy delivery straight to your door. It's kind of like a present from Wayfair. President's Day? Okay, we'll keep workshopping that. And while we're workshopping, you should be real shopping at Wayfair. Like now, before it's too late. Save on quality furniture for every room in the house. Appliances, mattresses, cookware, home decor, rugs, wall art, sofas, spatulas, table lamps, toaster ovens, dining sets, outdoor sheds, and... you get the idea. Trust us, this is the sale to score amazing end-of-season savings at Wayfair. And the bow on top of Wayfair's President's Day deals? Free and easy delivery straight to your door. Now that's a present. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's President's Day clearance right now through February 18th at Wayfair.com and save up to 70% off Wayfair's best deals since Black Friday.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Second overall is Donovan McNabb.
How could you?
He went to a couple Super Bowls, had a pretty good career for a while.
Yeah, but how could you take Couch over him?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Third overall, Achilles Smith. That's a bad pick.
Yeah.
That's a fucking bust and a half there. That's Cincinnati, of course. Yeah. Fourth overall, Edgerrin James, Hall of Famer.
Great choice.
Number 5, Ricky Williams. Great
choice.
Player. Somehow not a Hall of Famer. Torrey Holt, number 5. Good receiver for the Cardinals, the Rams is who I'm thinking. Cardinals came out of my mouth because I looked down here. Then number 7, Champ Bailey overall here. So
great to Washington,
Hall of Famer,
right?
Hall of Fame, yeah, to Washington.
Yep.
Then number 8 overall, David Boston of the Cardinals.
Wow, top 10.
Top fucking 10 pick there. Yep. Then Chris Claiborne, Chris McAllister, Dante Culpepper. Cade McNown, a lot of bad quarterbacks in this first round. Yeah.
Where'd Cade go?
Number 12 to Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
Yeah, they are the worst at drafting quarterbacks. They're just
they're not good.
They're not good at it. We'll see if this guy works out for him here from USC because
he's good. He's good.
They all are good in college, though. That's the thing. That's why they're drafted in the first round. But
Tim Couch was good in college.
He was great in college. The problem is if the Bears draft you right away, that's a
questionable.
You go, oh no, what do they see in him? Whatever skill set they see is obviously not the one that translates to the NFL. So I'm worried right off the bat there. Troy Edwards, John Tate, Tate, Javon Curse, number 16. So that's a good pick.
He was so good.
He was good. Damian Woody, longtime NFL center, also pretty good. Ebenezer Ekubon, guys like that. Not a great deep draft here, just not. Antoine Winfield went to Buffalo. Yeah, a lot of his
fall apart, huh?
A lot of his teammates went in the first round though. There, so second round it really starts to fall apart. You look at it and you're like, "What the fuck is happening here?" There's just, Jim Kleinsaucer there for the tight end. That's about as good as I really see, and nobody really terrific in this draft. It's a rough draft. Let's just say. He loved getting drafted, obviously.
Yeah,
more attention.
Oh man,
yeah, especially
and top 10.
Top 10. Fuck. You're going up there with the hat, and they're holding the jersey up and everything. Yeah. This isn't just getting a phone call at your house and you and your mom and dad celebrate with a 6-foot sub. This is
you went number 8, but that jersey you're holding is number 1.
Number 1.
It's the Cardinals' first pick.
That's right. He said it was a great feeling to get drafted. We were all out in California for the draft party at my agent's house. Why weren't you there? You're a top 10 pick. It was a good feeling watching all the hard work and everything I had dreamed about happen and come to life.
Yeah.
Why are you there, dude?
Well, because sure, it's a celebration for a moment as he walks across that stage, but at that party, it's all night.
We'll have a fucking party in New York at the draft. That's the point.
Yeah.
Get a goddamn hotel suite. You're an NFL top 10 draft pick.
Yeah, you got the money.
Get a suite and have a party. What the fuck's wrong with you? So 1999 Cardinals. Oh, this was the fun, bad every year.
Oh, man. It was
awful Cardinals.
So bad.
It was so great. I hate the Cardinals. They're my second least favorite team. Actually, they're my least favorite team because when they play the Patriots, I root for the Patriots to kick the shit out of them. So, second. My favorite game was like 51-3 in the snow with Kurt Warner not able to walk in the snow. It was amazing. I loved watching them get pummeled.
They're just always so depressing.
Ugh, I hate that fucking team so much. I hate the fans too because they're all bandwagon. When they're 6-10, nobody gives a fuck. When they're 13-3, it's like I bleed Cardinal red, man, and they're like, yeah, fuck you.
The tickets were so easy to get for so long.
You'd have to fend them off. Homeless people would offer them to you. They wouldn't even ask you for money. They're like, take these tickets off my hands. That's why I'm homeless. I have too many tickets.
Has to carry these.
Dude, I can't have them. They don't even burn. They're garbage. Take them. So it would work. So they're 6-10. Coach Vince Tobin there. Oh, God.
Oh, Tobin. Yeah, that poor bastard.
What a goddamn disaster that is overall. Dave Brown. Oh, God. Dave Brown and Kent Graham as quarterbacks. Do you remember those days?
That's no good.
Oh, man. I remember I went to a Monday night football game, and there was just like the people that were rooting for the Cardinals it would be second down, and they'd be like, just punt. Just fucking punt. He's going to throw a pick. It's easier to punt now. Like, literally.
Just punt.
Rooting for punting on second down because otherwise there was going to be a turnover, and they knew it. So fucking funny. Oh, we have Marte Jenkins. I remember that guy on the team. Looking over these old names from here. It's pretty interesting. So anyway, David Boston this year, he plays in all 16 games, starts 8 because it's a terrible team. They could use him.
It's so bad.
He has 40 receptions for 473 yards and 2 touchdowns. And garbage throwing to him, too.
Sure.
But still, it's his first year in the NFL. He's doing fine. He's a good, he does some punt returning, too, and does decent there. Everybody's happy, I would say. He's happy.
Sure.
I'm going to say grace right now for David, right?
It's a big day.
It's a big fucking day. So March 27th, 2000 now. This is in the off season, obviously. He gets in a really bad car accident.
That was his first of,
one where
a big incident.
Somebody's dead. That's why. It's bad. A driver going the wrong way in Columbus, Ohio, was killed when his car hit David Boston's. So it's not David's fault.
It was in Columbus.
It was in Columbus. Yeah, the guy was going the wrong way on the highway, which is insane.
And in Arizona, nobody gives a fuck about him.
That
but
happens.
In Columbus, everybody loves him.
He's a big deal in Columbus, yeah. And at the time, too, because he was a good rookie wide receiver, he had a lot of play in Arizona, I remember. And he wasn't injured at all somehow.
Wow.
The other guy's
rare.
dead, and he's not injured. Yeah. I'm not on steroids.
Yeah. I can take a fucking Buick.
The other guy's twisted, blood coming out of his mouth, and you just see the roof pop off his car, and he like jumps out of the top, and he's like, I feel great.
What was that?
He picks the other guy's car up and puts it off of his car, and he's like,
Uninjured.
I'm injured. Yeah. Uninjured, yeah.
The guy must have glanced off him and hit a pole or something, huh?
Don't know, but the guy was 21, the other guy, which is
Jesus Christ.
A damn shame. He was with, remember Diggs, that linebacker?
Really?
Diggs, he was with him, leaving Ohio State for the NFL. They were both, this is before everything. So he was driving north on Interstate 71 at 3 a.m. when he's driving a Hummer. That's why.
What? There you go.
He's driving a Hummer.
Now we know. He's driving a fucking tank.
Hit a car head on.
Oh, boy.
Going
uninjured.
Southbound. A lot of that's that your car weighs 5 times as much as the other guys, I think.
Yeah.
That's, the other driver.
That truck ate your car.
I wanted to save this. The other driver, you know what he was driving?
No.
A Ford Escort.
There's no chance.
A Ford Escort hits a Hummer. That's a suicide. The Hummer probably said, did we just hit, is there like a raccoon in the road or some shit? They barely noticed it, probably.
Is it already mosquito season around here?
This is, wow. He said he wasn't, I felt something. He wasn't injured, but he said later on that he suffered lingering nerve damage from it. But he wasn't nothing broken, not bleeding.
Pinched something.
A woman, by the way, was the driver. 21-year-old Danielle Carfagna. Maybe it's just the name. She's just really had enough of that. Been really picked on a long time.
This goddamn escort.
And police were unable to determine why she was doing it. Sounds like a suicide attempt if you're driving the wrong way directly at a Hummer in a Ford Escort on a highway.
Were there any chemicals in her body at all? If not, that is suicide.
Or
she
if there
hated this.
Even if there was, I'd say she did that to have the balls to do it, you know?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Just to get juiced up. So 2,000 Cardinals are 3-13. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Good shit.
God, fuck the torture.
Fuck, they were bad.
I can't imagine being a player and having that just every fucking week.
Depressing. How'd you like to be a season ticket holder? Because that's also when they still played at Sun Devil Stadium.
Yeah.
So you go to an early season game. It's 111 degrees outside. You're sautéing on a metal fucking bleacher while watching a 3-13 football team embarrass the fuck out of the state.
Yeah.
Yay.
A 3-13 team unfold.
Just fall apart before your eyes. They started out with Vince Tobin, who got fired when he was 2-5, and then Dave McGinnis comes in, really cleans it up by going 1-8 the rest of the way. Nice job. Great work, Dave.
Holy fuck.
Wow. They probably won the first game, like, yeah, new coach, and then it all...
Now we got it together.
It all goes downhill here. So this is also... it's a rough time. Simeon Rice on the team then. That's right. That was his guy there. Yeah, he was real good. Aeneas Williams still on the team. Fuck, Aeneas Williams was good. He's real underrated because he was so kind of low-key, but he was really good. Didn't he get in trouble for something too?
Did he go to the Rams and do something bad?
I think so. I thought he got I don't know.
I think it was elsewhere, though.
He beat up his wife or some shit. I don't remember what happened. I'll have to look that up. And
he may have gotten traded because of it.
That's possible here.
Yeah.
This year, David's, by the way, that's speculation. We don't know that he beat his wife up or got traded. Yeah.
He might be amazing.
We're not saying that's what happened.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Raise money for kids every day.
That's why he got traded. He was too busy raising money for underprivileged, handicapped children. That's what it was. He's like, there's poor blind kids. I'm trying to help them. They're like, listen, we need you to watch more film. We have no clue.
James and I are saying he beats the shit out of women.
Maybe they trade him because he beat the fuck out of his wife. I don't know. He could have raped her in the face. What do I fucking know? I don't know.
Or he's too nice for a 3-13 team.
Yep. He was an asset they could trade, maybe.
Yeah.
So David starts all 16 games this year, 71 receptions, 1,156 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He's a star now.
Oh, yeah.
It's 16.3 yards per catch, too. So that's big numbers.
The only one on the team that fucking matters.
Yeah, he really, on the offense, he really was at the time. So this year they go 7-9 under Dave McGinnis. I remember everybody going, ooh, the Cardinals look better.
Look at this. Yeah.
They almost were 500. Yeah, wow.
All of a sudden they're one game away from being even.
Being even and still not making the fucking playoffs. Jake Plummer was still on the team, by the way. I don't know why I thought he was gone earlier.
Jake Plummer did this, huh?
Yeah, Jake Plummer. He started all 16 games that year. Man.
That must have been his rookie year?
Plummer? No.
Yeah.
Plummer's rookie year was 97, wasn't it? Or no, 97 was the Rose Bowl.
It must have been 98.
It could have been 98. Yeah.
It must have been 98 or this.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he had, I think it was the 97 Rose Bowl was his big.
Yeah, so then it would have been 98, but he probably didn't start him till this, right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, because back then you wouldn't, especially him too, because he wasn't ever ready to play in the NFL, I don't think. He was terrible. So
you think so?
The worst quarterback I've ever seen.
Loved him in Denver.
He has never thrown a spiral in his life. I can't. Any quarterback that throws like that, I can't watch you. You're fucking awful. All of his stats are, we're down 28-3 in the fourth quarter, so they let you march down the field twice. And people are like, he's Jake the Snake, the comeback. No, you're down 30 points. They don't care if you they're playing prevent. They're literally saying, let him catch it, then tackle him. That's what they're doing.
That 13-3 season was pretty fucking amazing to watch.
That was not him at all, though. He was, look at him. Look at his games, though. He's terrible.
Well, look who they had. They had so many great players that year. You
could have quarterbacked that team to success. They were I can't watch. He was awful. He was just awful. Most overrated quarterback.
Was part of that.
I think he was too. I think Plummer's the most overrated quarterback in the last 30 years of the NFL.
You think so?
He's terrible. I mean, Tim Tebow aside, but that was just religious people saying he was good. No one else thought he was good.
That's why they pushed Plummer aside, was for Cutler and him.
Yeah. Well, Cutler had potential when you looked at him, but then,
God, he was so bad.
He turned out to be Jay Cutler, unfortunately.
Fuck, I hated him so much.
If you watched him throw, though, you go, a spiral finally. Holy shit. He can throw it more than 38 yards down the field, too.
To the other team.
You see Plummer go downfield, it was like he'd haul back and chuck it as far as he could. And it was a wounded duck that would wobble 36 yards and hopefully
somehow ended up in Rod Smith's hands. It was awesome.
Yeah, hopefully if you have Rod Smith or a giant roided up David Boston who can throw a defensive back out of the way and grab it, but otherwise garbage. So
I loved it.
Oh man, well yeah, because you like Denver and you'll take whatever the fuck they have.
I really will.
Yeah. See, I'm a Giants fan, but I can.
You want to win a specific way? Fuck that.
No, not a specific way. If someone sucks, they suck. I don't care if they're on my team or not. You suck.
But when they suck and they win, I'm so happy.
Daniel Jones could win the Super Bowl. He still sucks. You know what I mean? He sucks. Period. Watch him play. He's not good. He's really not. It's just how it is.
That's not their starter right now, right?
Yeah, they gave him a fuckload of money. They gave him a ton of money. They gave him like $150 million for being extremely mediocre.
Is that the kid with the fucking... No. I don't know.
They just gave him a fuck-ass shitload of money last year, and everyone went, what? He's the comparison of like why quarterbacks are so overpaid. Daniel Jones makes this much money, and he's terrible. So David this year, though, he 1,598 receiving yards, led the league. So big star. Lot of fucking 28-3 games where he caught a lot of passes in the fourth quarter that no one cared about and let him catch. Yeah. And he was named to the Pro Bowl and the All-Pro teams.
That's awesome.
Really good here. He says that he gives success to his credit for his success to his coach. He said, I had a great season in 2001, and we had a coach come in there that changed my whole viewpoint as a receiver. I had never come across a coach who had any kind of impact with me to the degree Jerry Sullivan was able to have on me. I think just me getting better, working hard, and throwing him into the mix, I think he was able to guide me to that Pro Bowl caliber year that I had. So at least he's giving credit to people. That's good. Yeah, this year, 15 games started, 16 played, 98 receptions, 1,598 yards. That's a lot. 8 touchdowns, exact same yards per reception as last year, 16.3, which is pretty impressive. But he averages 99.9 yards a game.
That's incredible.
That's fucking incredible. He has a terrific year. Awesome. March 15th, 2002, he's under investigation.
Yeah.
And this is for possible drunken driving.
Yeah.
Remember how big of a deal this was in Phoenix?
Oh boy.
Because it was such a ridiculous thing here.
It was a time. It was an era too in Arizona where they wanted the country to know that you're all on watch. We're keeping an eye on you.
No shit.
You cross our borders with a mouthwash in your car, you're going to jail.
You're going to jail. Your kid's going to get kicked out of school.
You're losing your license for a year.
They were really nuts. And this was at a time too when, like, in Phoenix, because 2001 is kind of it's pre-podcasts and pre all that. Yeah. Sports radio was a big deal in Phoenix back then. Yeah. Remember? So like a story like this is all they would talk about all day, all night was this shit. So they had nothing else going on. But
and what month was this?
This was in March. So there's nothing happening. It's spring training and that's it. Yeah. So the Cardinals here, he's being investigated. He was taken into custody after, quote, performing very poorly during a field sobriety test at his home. I guess the police went to his home after 2 different people called 911 on him.
Wow.
Separate people, and said they had followed a car there that they thought was being driven by someone impaired. 2 separate people followed a fucking car there, followed his car.
All the way to this house.
To his house and called 911 to say this guy was tanked. Mind your business. Hey, they got home and didn't kill anybody. I'm moving on now. My part in this is done.
Yeah.
At that point.
Very lucky.
You're lucky. We're all lucky. Great. Moving on. Yeah. I also have like a job and kids and shit. What the fuck am I doing following a stranger around?
Yeah, nothing happened except this guy drove like a dipshit for a while.
Because he's hammered. So April 24th, 2002, he faces charges now. Police recommending that he be charged with driving under the influence of cocaine and marijuana.
Oh,
got a little more interesting now. Yeah,
what the fuck?
Blood tests taken after he was detained after he performed poorly on the field sobriety test revealed the presence of cocaine and marijuana. No alcohol in his system.
No, my God.
None.
That's the first guy that
So
ever
much
left
coke.
fucking the tilted kilt with just
Sober.
coke and weed in it.
Yeah. I'm worried about that guy.
Yeah.
That guy worries me way more than the guy who had 4 beers at the tilted kilt.
yeah.
Just because he went to a bar and was like, I'm only doing coke. That's a fucking it's a weird guy.
Ladies' night drink specials. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care. That's fucking
Clean
crazy.
this area of the bar. I'm about to chop it up.
Yeah, let's get that towel out here. Get the clean one from behind there. So the police recommend that the city prosecutor's office charge him with 1 misdemeanor charge of driving under the influence of drugs and another misdemeanor charge of operating a vehicle while generally impaired.
I can't fucking believe this because I remember when this happened and I had no idea it was just drugs.
The big deal was he was saying he wasn't on drugs, number one. And at the same time, he said it was ridiculous that the cops came to his house after he was already home and the people who saw him driving aren't cops. So there was a huge debate over whether this should be a thing or not. So
the other thing is, how are you swerving when that's all it is?
It's a misdemeanor too. So
how fucking high are you?
You got to be so fucking high on coke.
Yeah.
Coke and weed too. Also, which one did you do last is going to be the thing that dominates.
The dominant one. Yeah.
If you're high and you do coke, you're not going to be stoned anymore.
Yeah, it's an interesting crossfade because if you do too much coke, then you don't even.
What's
feel
the
point
weed.
of smoking that weed?
You don't feel it. Usually,
it's a waste of weed.
Guys I know that did a lot of coke, they would smoke weed at the end of the night to chill off of that and be able to go to sleep. That's how so they would come off of it. So I don't know if that was his like chill out or if he's just likes to fucking put everything together at once, make a cocktail. I don't know. But they're saying at this point that he's probably going to be in more trouble with the NFL than with the police. Right. Yeah. They're saying the actual police investigation here, there's a lot of holes. There's a lot of anybody with a decent lawyer can find shit wrong with an investigation. Sure. That's why. So that's
and with something like that, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fucking lawyer nor a cop, but it feels like it'd be hard to prove that he ingested it on purpose.
How the fuck do you accidentally ingest cocaine and marijuana?
I don't know, man. How do you say that he did it on purpose? You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. He's in a car, fucked up. Whether you did it on purpose or not doesn't matter. Does it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you say, I don't know. I just started feeling funny. I didn't mean to feel like this. I don't know how I feel like this. I just had to get home.
But that, like, according to the law, though, driving impaired isn't.
Yeah.
Intent isn't the point.
Great point.
They don't care of intent. It's driving impaired.
Is it illegal to have drugs in you, or is it illegal to
drive,
be in possession of them?
And drive, it's illegal to have them in you.
Okay.
Yeah. If he was hanging out in his living room and he hadn't drove and they busted in and tested him, that's not illegal at all. If he didn't have anything, but in a car, then it's that's a different story. So they're trying to make a big deal out of it, and his agent is saying, no, it's crazy. The true facts will be revealed once independent blood testing takes place, is what his agent said.
Okay,
the true facts.
Yeah.
I love when people say the true facts will be revealed. It's like Jim Jones, and then nothing happens, or like one of these doomsday people. The world will end on April 22nd, and then April 23rd. They're like, so anyway.
The old David Cross joke. Another millennia fundraiser.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there we go. So they said the NFL has probable cause now with Boston because the league they don't abide by laws. They're not the police force. They have their own rules that they regulate and investigate and all that kind of shit. So they said this arrest is all they need to initiate the drug program for David Boston. No matter what happens with the criminal investigation, the league can now tell Boston that what to do, whether, no legalities aside. So he can't get out of that. They said that he has to do a league-sponsored drug test now. He could have to drop piss as much as 10 times a month.
Wow.
That's how many times they can do that here.
10 times a month?
They can knock on your door at fucking 7 in the morning and say, piss right now.
every 72 hours.
All the time. Yeah, they can do it as much as they fucking want, which is pretty goddamn wild here. This is it will be his first strike, so I don't think he'll be suspended, but he probably will have to get a lot of drug tests going on. Jesus. He is saying here he's been known as a hard partier anyway. Like he was always known as that. Yeah. And so they said that, he's a hard partier, and they don't like that he was remember all his taunting on the field? Mm-hmm. He was a lot of big talker and all that shit.
Loudmouth. Yeah.
They didn't like that, but that's a wide receiver. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. That's fine. They are saying, though, the drug testing could be bad because, if you fuck up at all, they're testing you constantly.
Sure.
So they say he becomes an unrestricted free agent after next year. So they're talking about, will this ruin his market value, getting drug tests all the time and all that kind of shit. So May of 2002, he won't face a drug possession charge.
Okay.
They said there's a lack of evidence on a drug possession charge.
Really, lack of drugs.
Well, they said they found 2 bags of cocaine.
Oh.
Well, here's what they did. Okay, this is fucking funny. They took him in from his house, no cocaine in the back of the cop car, okay? Mm-hmm. When they got him there, they took him out, and then they went and looked in the car. Now there's 2 bags of coke in the back seat of the car.
That's weird.
Yeah. So if you try to transport it into jail, that's an extra charge. Yeah. So he was like, I'm going to leave these motherfuckers in the car and say it's not mine. Yeah. And they're saying, and it worked because they're saying they're not going to charge him because of lack of evidence now because they
can't prove who it
they didn't
came
have
from.
Cameras in the car back then where they could show it. Wow, that's fucking wild, man. So
unreal.
They said there isn't sufficient evidence to prosecute him on the cocaine charge. They recommended that he be prosecuted for driving under the influence of drugs and all of that. So
how about that? The arresting officer has to feel like a real dick for not patting him down.
Yeah, right. If they didn't, how do you not find that? Where
how
do you
miss that?
How do you fucking miss that? That's wild. So he then apologizes to the Cardinals.
Okay.
He says, well, quote, I want to apologize for bringing this kind of circumstances to the organization. This kind of circumstances. I've been told by my lawyer not to discuss any of the details of the matter, but I'm glad to be back out here playing. That's his big apology.
He didn't apologize.
Nope.
He said, I want to, but
I want to apologize.
I'm going to say a bunch of things that are not an apology.
But I'm happy to be playing. Yeah, I can't talk about it, but sure happy to play.
I want to apologize, but I'm not going to.
Oh, my God. So July 28th, 2002, big article on, is he on steroids? Of course he's not. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is from the Arizona Republic here. Richard Obert. So Dickie O over here.
Yeah.
He says, David Boston would have been the envy of Arnold Schwarzenegger when he came to Cardinals camp a year ago. 19-inch arms, 6-pack abs, legs that carried him 40 yards in 4.18 seconds. That's not true, by the way.
Also, put it away, man. Calm down.
That would tie the fastest 40 in the history of the NFL. He's not the
4.1?
4.18, yeah. Michael Vick ran a 4.19. You're not that fast. Sorry, David Boston. You're just not. So they said he went from 209 pounds the previous season to a sculpted 242 pounds.
Jesus.
And emerged as an NFL star. Steroids? The question mark. Mm-hmm. And then his personal trainer says he's got tested 14 times for steroids and passed every time. That doesn't mean anything. Look at what he just said. Is he on steroids? He got tested 14 times and passed every time. Is that no? He's not on steroids?
The time when the Whizzinator was a big deal in the NFL. They all used one.
This is also the time when they were HGH was a big deal. There was all these creams and all this stuff that the mask. This was all Balco times and all that times. Yeah. This was all new technology that was ahead of the testing and all that. But just to say, if I said, did you kill your wife, Jimmie? Well, I mean, her head was found on the front lawn, but none of my prints were there. That's not no.
I passed a polygraph.
Yeah. They've polygraphed him 11 times, and he's passed every time. It's not, I didn't kill my wife at all. Sorry.
I look forward to my day in court.
Unbelievable. That's what you are. Anything. Might as well. They said human growth, this is the article again, human growth hormone injections, ? They're hard to detect because the body produces it naturally. Boston says no to both.
Okay.
This is fucking amazing. He says that he does reishi, a mushroom extract that lowers the cortisol levels in the body. That's what he does. Cortisol is
Jake Plummer as his quarterback, James.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Cortisol is a stress hormone that breaks down muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Boston attributes much of his gains to the herb, along with a high-protein, low-carb diet and training. It's 30 pounds in a year, bro. No. No.
High protein, low carb.
Yeah. Barry Bonds is like, I got to write that down for later when they ask why my head is 4 sizes bigger than it was before.
Yeah. I eat a BLT lettuce wrap. That's why.
That's why. Sorry. Boston said he gets his blood tests done to measure his hormone levels and takes the reishi orally. He also does what is becoming an increasingly popular technique for many athletes, using an IV drip that's a use of a mix of vitamins and minerals or whatever else he might need. Yeah, like steroids.
Yeah.
He said, I do it for whatever is wrong with my body. Sometimes I'll get a hydrogen peroxide drip, which cleans the veins and arteries. What the fuck are you putting in your body?
You can put hydrogen peroxide
in your bloodstream? Directly into your bloodstream? I didn't realize that.
That feels dangerous.
I thought it was just blood you were supposed to put in there, or drugs, or
That shit's like a foaming agent too. Like that'll expand,
yeah,
right? And blow out your heart. Feels like it would.
His trainer says it cleans the veins and arteries. This sounds like some 17th century shit. Then he covers them in leeches after that, and they fucking really go to work.
I'm not a doctor, but that sounds bad.
This sounds ridiculous. I don't think this is like policy nowadays. I don't think there's NFL players directly injecting hydrogen peroxide into their bloodstream.
When I have a yuck stomach, James, I like to get a Seagram's ginger ale drip.
Yeah. I just eat charcoal. That works for me.
What the fuck are we talking about? You put hydrogen? You can't
in
do
your
that.
veins? He said, sometimes after I train real hard and being on a high protein diet, they'll give my liver a lot of things to break down. Okay. At Fisher Sports Physical Training and Conditioning in Phoenix, Cardinals quarterback Jake Plummer's up to 215 pounds, eating 5 meals a day and pumped up on a combination of zinc and magnesium. Are they joking? Are they actually, seriously, we're supposed to fucking believe that these guys are just found some fountain of muscle now that no one else has? Yeah. That no one else has found.
Right.
Ever.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Somebody at GNC that does this shit every day can't figure it out, but
unbelievable.
Zinc and Mag, okay.
One of the guys that works with these people said it's responsible for the natural production of testosterone. With that comes your recovery, gain, and helps you sleep. We had to go through extensive testing with the NFL to make sure it was okay to use.
Of natural,
yeah. Jay Schrader, I don't think the quarterback, someone else. I do. The dumb blonde-looking guy from the Redskins and Raiders, who heads EVO Sports in Mesa. It probably is him.
I'll bet it is.
It probably is. Promotes neurological stimulation. He said he has St. Louis Rams strong safety Adam Archuleta on an herb called Huberzine. Huberis, it should be called. This is ridiculous.
Wasn't Adam rocked up for fucking steroids, though?
I believe he was.
I think he was
dinged, yes. Archuleta left last weekend for camp at 224 pounds and running the 40 in 4.3 seconds. No, he wasn't. You're lying to fucking advertise your shit. That's bullshit. He was not running it in 4.3. He wasn't. They would instantly make... Oh, my God, I'm so angry right now, these fucking liars. Liars. He says he left bigger, stronger, and faster than I've known him. That's what Schrader says. Scottsdale strength trainer Chad Ikei, or whatever, a former world record holder at 119 pounds in Olympic weightlifting. I think that means he weighed 119, not he lifted 119. Yeah. It's like that must have been a really long time ago. refers some of his clients to Dr. Vance Inoue, an instructor at the Southwest Naturopathic Medical Center in Scottsdale, and a naturopath at Taiki Chiropractic. Inoue administers vitamin and mineral IV drips that he says helps the muscles recover faster and give the athlete more vitality. Which is what steroids does, by the way.
Right.
He says IV drips work much faster because they bypass the stomach lining and liver and get right to the cells. He said he administers only FDA-regulated products. It can cost from $85 to $125 a session. Wow. Mark Verstegen, who operates Athletes Performance in Tempe, says he has each of his athletes sign an ethical statement that says they will not take performance-enhancing drugs. If Schrader suspects one of his athletes of using steroids, he says he'll have the athlete tested. If they refuse or fail, they're kicked out. Wow. Oh, my.
You're going to refuse their money?
I can't believe this Dick Obert just wrote this down. Like, tell me what you have to say, and I won't investigate it or look into it or anything. I'll just write it down as an advertisement for you. What a fucking hack, man. You're a hack, Richard Obert. Sorry. Hope you're not a fucking writer there anymore because this is awful. Verstegen, who has a nutritionist on staff, promotes homeopathy and a balanced diet. Trainer Mac Newton swears by meats and lots of vegetables and fruits.
You know, a whole diet.
30 pounds in a year.
Yeah.
You didn't figure
just some meats and vegetables?
Wow. Philadelphia Flyers forward Jeremy Roenick reduced his body fat by 14% under the nutritional advice and workouts. Well, that you can do. You can slim if you exercise. If it doesn't fly, swim, or run, or if it's not green, don't eat it, the trainer said. They just let that article go out. There's literally no investigation. No, I looked into this. This is actually nothing. Just they say this, and then it keeps going.
Some naturopathic shit.
Wow, what fucking hackery in sports writing. Dude, hackery in sports writing is going to be a new category.
It's certainly
for these scummy awards. Worst sports writers ever. And what's your name? Dick Obert? You are top of the list, you fucking hack. 2002 here. The Cardinals go 5-11, really crushing it.
Good thing they were doing some naturopathic shit.
Thank God they're all super muscular and look great because they suck at playing football.
Yeah, they sold more calendars than season tickets.
Exactly, yeah. There's the Jake Plummer centerfold. 215, ladies. What do you think? My fucking spiral's still terrible, but 215. So ESPN, the magazine, remember when that was a thing? Reported at some point this season, Boston had been caught with a woman at bed check before a game. The night before a game, every team stays in a hotel, even if it's a home game. It's so you know none of the distractions of home.
No distractions. Yep.
And so he brought a distraction with him. Apparently,
I got no distractions. I got a blowjob machine.
I got no pussy or steroids. I swear. There's a needle hanging out of his arm and a naked woman next to him. I've done neither.
Already on.
I've done neither. No, it's used and on the floor, full of jizz. I swear. That was here when I got here. I swear. She brought that with her and just put it down. I don't know. She carries it with her. It's weird. When the woman was ordered to leave, Boston, because the team said, you got to get out because they do bed check. Boston fucking bucked up to the coaches and said that he threatened to fake an injury and not play unless she was allowed to stay. I will tell the press I'm injured tomorrow and not play. And
holy shit.
You know what the team said?
Fake the injury.
Okay, she can stay. And they let her stay. Dude, you're asking for every fucking thing you will get with this guy at that point. If you let him have special rules, that's insanity.
They let her stay.
They let her stay. That's one of those things. It doesn't matter if you're Peyton Manning, this one, that one. Fucking day before the game, no chicks in here.
You're getting walked. I mean, that's just like a teenager telling you, my girlfriend's staying over. That kid's always going to be against you.
I'll fake strep throat tomorrow and not go to school. Well, okay, I guess she can stay then.
Guess she can stay. See you in the morning.
Your ass is going. Yeah, I'll drop your ass off at school and you're going. So November 14th, 2002, he actually does hurt himself. This is not a fake injury. He tears his patellar tendon in his right knee. And he's going to lose a whole bunch of the season here. So 2002, he only plays in 8 games, still has 32 receptions for 512 yards and a touchdown, but obviously it's not good. This is the beginning of his injuries because, you know, his body isn't structured to hold 242 pounds while playing football. Yeah. That's not how his body is. It's an unnatural 30 pounds.
And it's fascinating that it's the weak low point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's that spot that it's gonna give if it's too top heavy.
That's it. Yeah, your legs are meant for your knees. Joints are only meant for a certain amount of weight, and you can see if you know people that are like I know a guy who's like 525 pounds and could dance light on his feet. His fucking ankles.
Tree trunks
were the size of my knees, and they weren't like with fat. His fucking bone structure
big guy.
was made to carry that much weight. That's why he could dance and not hurt himself and shit. Whereas if I gained 300 pounds, I would break my fucking leg walking around my house because I'm not made for that.
Yeah.
So he tears his shit. March 10th, 2003, the Chargers sign him. The Cardinals are done with him after that.
They let him go.
They have 4 years with the Cardinals, and that's it. He's a free agent, and they sign him. They sign him to a 7-year, $47 million contract.
Wow.
With $12 million guaranteed.
Jesus.
Which isn't a lot for a big receiver now, but back then that was a huge
great
deal.
Money. Yeah.
Real big deal. So
$50 million.
It's a lot. 2003 San Diego, they're not great either. 4-12 that year.
Yeah, that was fun to be a Broncos fan back then.
That was when Marty Schottenheimer first got there, and then they'll be pretty goddamn good soon. Yeah. I think they're 13-3 in a couple of years. So 4-12 that year, not good at all. Drew Brees is their quarterback again, starter. He's finally starting that year.
This is 2001?
2003.
Okay.
That season. So that year, September 1st, 2003, this is from ESPN.com, and this is fucking funny. They say you hear a lot of whispers around the NFL about just how David Boston got so big and still is fast. Yeah. And it says, you know what? He doesn't give a damn what you or anyone else thinks.
Yeah. Barry Bonds doesn't care about what you think about his home runs either.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't care that his hat size went from 6 7/8 to 7 and a fucking 7 5/8 overnight.
8.
Yeah. So the article says, what's going on in room 614? There's a man in there, a he-man actually.
Oh, my God.
Listening to ocean music. There are syringes and needles in boxes and IV bags in the closet. There are registered nurses knocking on the door and chiropractors coming and going, and a personal trainer carrying a backpack full of pills, a backpack that some people would love to inspect. What's going on in room 614? There's an overgrown wide receiver in there. Dude, you're on steroids, fans yell at him at training camp. A lot of NFL players and coaches think he's on something, but the term they use is yoked up. Gotta be, an NFL defensive back says. The receiver keeps testing clean 7 times last season, but his peers are still suspicious. Yeah, because he's on fucking HGH, you dummies. Jesus Christ. They can't prove it, but they think he's on something they don't have a test for yet. Maybe human growth hormone, and one reason is the size of his head.
Oh.
Dude, it's just ridiculously, now in the past, knowing that we know about Balco and Bonds and all that shit, he said, this is a player that said, look, even his face is growing. He's bloated. His cheekbones have changed.
Oh, shit.
He's turned into a fucking monster. He's turning into like a wolf man or something. I don't know what's happening. So guys around the league just don't see how his weight could jump from 209 to 257 in 3 years.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You know exactly how.
Drugs, or how he can have 21-inch biceps.
Good Lord.
Dude, that's like a very big 80s roided-up professional wrestler.
That's a lot of arm, man.
That's so much arm. That's crazy. And a 34-inch waist and 5.5% body fat. How can he run the 40 in 4.3 seconds? Or how the sorry Cardinals could let such a physical specimen walk? Or how 30 other teams could let the Chargers scoop him up as a free agent for only $47 million. A fucking bargain.
What a deal.
A roided up idiot who apparently likes to do coke and fucking
and waste weed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is not and also has a torn tendon in his knee.
Yeah.
So now they say, no, there's got to be something going on in that room. Something to keep Arizona from franchising him, franchise tag, they mean. Something to scare off the rest of the league. We didn't even have him on our board, says a Redskins exec whose team needed a receiver and opted to pay Lavernius Coles a $13 million signing bonus. Lavernius Coles? He's half this guy's size and doesn't run any faster. But few trust him. Meaning Boston, not Coles. Yeah. They hear all the stories, how he eats only his personal trainer in his personal trainer's room, room 614 at the Hilton Carson Civic Plaza in Carson, California. How Hall of Famer Joe Green, an assistant coach on his own old team, wonders if he'll live to 30.
Really?
He's living fast is what he's saying. How he's paying his personal trainer $200K a year.
Yeah, what is going on?
Apparently this guy it's just David Boston. His whole thing is just keeping David Boston in business here. Even though he's rooming with LaDainian Tomlinson, he's holed up most of the time in room 614. Holed up and getting heavier every day. Chargers defensive end Marcellus Wiley said, have you seen that guy? Our D-line coach calls him RoboCop. Fuck. If any of us defensive linemen go down, he's going two-way. I mean, 260 pounds, 5% body fat, 4.340, that's 30 sacks. He's saying he'd be a great defensive end.
Yeah.
Every day in the cafeteria, I walk past fried foods and say, I am David Boston. That way I won't eat them. I want to look just like David Boston. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Real easy. But that's the problem. David Boston doesn't even look like David Boston. Arizona Cardinals official, somebody from the team said, quote, I give him till Halloween.
For what?
To
live?
I think, till he's going to be dead by Halloween.
He's going to be dead in 6 months.
He's being stalked by fucking Michael Myers, I think is the problem here. He said,
if he falls asleep, that Freddy's going to get him.
He's going to get him. That's it. He knows it. It's bad because then when he's awake, he's got to run from Michael Myers. So he's got a lot of problems. He's not lasting past Halloween. I'll tell you that much right now.
The blade's going to get him one way or the other.
You can't run that. I mean, yeah, sure. Michael Myers doesn't run a 4.340, but if you're in one spot.
You run a 4.340 long enough, you're going to get tired. You're going to fall asleep, and Freddy's going to come out of your chest.
That's how it works. That's how it works. So they said the consensus in Arizona is that he'll break down, that his ankles are too thin to carry that load. That's what I was saying, that he's too massive for the ligaments on his sprinter legs. The consensus is that patella tendon in his right knee, the one that burst last season, will burst again, and that will be that. He'll be a bodybuilder or a model.
Wow. Week 10, he's done with this sport.
Boston says, well, I'd rather be explosive at 250 for 8 to 10 years than be 230 for 13 years. Why?
I don't know what that means.
You don't have to be 250 to be a great receiver in the NFL. Jerry Rice is still the greatest receiver who's ever fucking lived, and I think he was $180, if that.
Yeah. And they don't care about size. What they're looking for is speed.
Yeah.
If you're fast, you can last in this league.
Well, run good routes, take good angles. Jerry Rice wasn't even the fastest guy. He just had great fucking angles. He could outrun a guy that was way faster than him because he knew how to do it. He's like a master of physics. It's fucking crazy. So they said somewhere Boston became a mass first, everything else second. Maybe it started after he broke his left scapula as a rookie in 1999 and decided he needed more meat on him. Or maybe it was the car accident a year later when a drunk driver slammed into his Hummer at high speed, killing herself and rearranging his body. Or maybe it was when the chiropractor examined him 6 months after the accident, noticed lingering nerve damage in his foot and weakness in his lower back, and said, your body's for shit. The only thing that'll solve it is coming here all the time and paying me money. A
chiropractor told you your body is for shit. That's medical terminology.
Yeah.
And
let me make it worse, by the way.
That person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me make it worse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Your body's for shit. Oh my God, please tell me everything I need to do. Yep. I'd leave that instant.
Mm-hmm. No, every huckster sees him as a fucking cash register.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
What a dope to listen to a doctor, quote unquote, that says your body is for shit. My doctor's never said that to me.
No.
And my body is certainly for shit.
And a chiropractor sure as fuck isn't a doctor either.
No.
So that's the other thing. Wow. They said whatever he's undergone a makeover that few believe is above board. A makeover on and off the field that ultimately contributed to the Cardinals' decision to run their prized possession out of town. Man, we've taken a lot of hits for doing it, says Joe Green, but once in a while, I'd like to hear that maybe we weren't wrong. Well, you'll hear you got to wait a little while because 2024, we're saying you were absolutely right, Joe Green. Here we are.
That's not mean, Joe Green, is it?
Yeah. He was their D-line coach for a while.
Really?
Absolutely. They hired him, yeah. Remember seeing him in that Cardinals polo? It was fucking weird seeing him in a red polo shirt.
I don't like that. I don't want to see that.
It was fucking not okay. It was unsettling. So
I don't know. I don't like that.
I don't either. They said Arizona staffers roll their eyes when they hear Boston's name now, but it wasn't always that way. When the Cardinals saw him at training camp in 2001, his body fat went from 11% to 6%. His weight went up from 209 to 238. They were thrilled. He was still fast enough to outrun Charles Woodson on a 50-yard score that season, and no one dared jam him at the line. Boston said, DBs got scared of me. Well, fuck yeah, you're twice their size. By year's end, he led the NFL with a team record 1,598 yards on 98 catches and had everybody at the Pro Bowl staring. Brian Urlacher kept going, how are your arms bigger than mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem. The most feared defensive fucker, or the second if you put Ray Lewis probably above him at that time, and fear probably. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But a month later, Boston tested positive for cocaine and marijuana after a DUI arrest, pleaded no contest to 2 misdemeanors, and his world changed. Now the Cardinals began to notice his idiosyncrasies. He'd mumble. He'd show up with his eyebrows pierced, his tongue pierced, his upper earlobe pierced, his nipples pierced. Who fucking cares? That doesn't matter. He's on steroids. That's the problem. Don't care what he pierces.
I don't care that he goes to Axis Radius at night.
Yeah. That's
in the Scottsdale clubs.
He's just, I think, doing it for like aerodynamics. He's like air can flow through these holes now, and it's better. So they said he only hung with one teammate, running back Thomas Jones, who was another guy they held out of camp forever, a first-round draft pick there. I think he was from Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. The 2002 season was Boston's contract year, but there was little goodwill between him and the franchise. In practice one day, he asked the DBs not to hit him hard because otherwise his shoulder pads would pinch his nipple piercings. I think your priorities are slightly fucked up, maybe, if you're like, listen, I can't really practice this thing I have to do.
Don't hit me so hard. I like it when women lick my nipples.
Yeah. You're chafing my nips before my girl gets to really hit them and lick them. They said that Boston says he doesn't remember that, but Cardinals coaches and players confirm it. Receiver Jason McAdley said he was like, don't hit me in the chest. The coach was like, what the hell? What's happening here? The low point came the night before a game in Seattle in the second week of the season. During bed check, Mean Joe Green said a coach found a woman in his room. When the woman was asked to leave, Boston's response was, if she goes, I don't play, I'll come down with an injury. So the
nipples suck.
Like,
the game.
You going to come in here and suck my nipples, coach?
I got these new rings.
Because she's doing it. So the girl stayed and Boston played. Putting your personal needs in front of the team, says Mean Joe Green, that's not an environment I grew up in. Boston says he doesn't even remember that incident either. Well, it's funny how he conveniently forgets all the things that make him an asshole. But
That's
some
a problem if you're already forgetting things.
Forgot it. Yeah, he's got worse problems. But Cardinals coaches felt that he was never focused. A member of the front office said, who knew what was going on in his world or what he was ingesting? They said, they go on to, the article says, the team just didn't trust the supplements he was on. His weight had climbed into the 240s. He'd get winded after 4 or 5 plays, and he was muffing passes.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good. Some coaches felt he was so muscle-bound that he couldn't extend his arms, and he was trying to catch everything against his body, which will make the ball bounce off you. Thomas Jones, his buddy there, said, quote, people who say that stuff are haters. No, they're just coaches, actually. They're trying to win because that's what their jobs are based upon.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about coaches. Generally, if you're really, really good, they don't give a fuck.
Things.
Lawrence Taylor was allowed to do whatever the fuck he wanted because
he locked the coach out of practice.
They were like, cool, he'll have 3 sacks on Sunday. Scares the shit out of the other team.
Yeah.
That's
he
how much
played that week.
Yeah. Coaches aren't haters, or those people aren't haters. They're defending their own jobs. People who say that stuff are haters. There were a lot of guys who didn't like me and David because maybe you were assholes.
Me and David.
I don't
remember you, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know you.
I just remember him holding out because they wouldn't give a normal signing bonus again when he got drafted, and then he came in and he was okay. He was a decent running back, Jones, actually. It wasn't bad.
I don't know a single one of his plays that were memorable.
He's not fucking, Edgerrin James. He's just he was a serviceable running back for a while. He did better with the Bucks a few years later because they had an offensive line and shit. Huh? Yeah. Of course they did. That's what you do. You let a guy go. And then he goes on. Look at Garrison Hurst.
Elsewhere.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
God. Jesus.
That's what the Cardinals did for years.
Yeah.
So the team felt Boston was caught up in his new image, like when he'd put lotion on his arms before games so his biceps would glisten.
It's a good move.
It's a good move, except that, you don't want your arms to be slippery when you're trying to catch footballs with them, generally.
Great point. You may want to rub some
stickiness.
Gorilla Glue on your arms.
That's what they used to do. Yeah, they didn't care what their arms looked like. They care if the ball stayed in their fucking hands.
To him. Yeah.
Or when he'd show off shirtless photos of himself to women. One day, reserve quarterback Preston Parsons noticed a pleasant aroma in the locker room and said, "What's that smell?" Boston told him, "My hygiene's unbelievable." Dead serious.
What?
Like, it's me. My hygiene's so good I smell good. I'm like an air freshener. I'm a human air freshener.
It's a hilarious response to that. Rather than saying, it might be the soap I use, he just says, my hygiene is what he said. What's the word?
My hygiene is unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's like Dennis Rodman, but he forgot to get a bunch of rings before he went nuts.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
My asshole's so clean.
Yeah. Rodman had 3 rings before he put a drop of dye in his hair. That's the problem. That's why Rodman, this was okay.
My hygiene's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I'm a human air freshener. Very nice.
I am so clean.
You could hang me from your rearview mirror, and I will
Not a single germ, you guys.
Coach, get this microscope out. I want these people to see how germ-free I am. Would you?
My hygiene is
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
That's fucking amazing.
Wow.
They said Boston would show up with different color contacts, blue ones, red ones, purple ones, and people would walk away confused by his look. None of this matters, by the way.
No.
When I wear the red ones, people think I'm stoned, he says. I'm a different kind of cat, aren't I? No, you're just a douche.
Yeah.
You're a roided up club kid. That's what you are.
Yep,
a douchebag. Yep. Says Wiley, I went up to talk to him after a game 2 years ago, and he had like purple eyes. And I said, okay, a little Melrose in you. Okay. Boston never finished the 2002 season. His right patella tendon already slightly torn coming into the year, snapped when the 49ers defensive back nailed him directly on the knee last October. He hobbled through the next game, then had season-ending surgery. It was still assumed the Cardinals would place the franchise tag on him, but owner Bill Bidwell declined. He's just cheap, by the way. The DUI arrest and his erratic behavior sealed his fate. Yeah, he was like, oh, good. The fans won't be mad at me if I don't pay him lots of money. That's exactly what that guy said.
Yeah.
Green's explanation as to why Arizona let Boston walk, quote, fear. Fear of him repeating not his Pro Bowl year, but the year after. To keep him, you'd have to make a serious commitment to him financially, and that was scary. Too scary.
Yeah.
So he San Diego was his only free agent visit, by the way.
Wow.
The Chargers said they did a background check with the league office, and the Cardinals assumed Boston would be suspended for the cocaine incident, but San Diego was told not to worry. He won't be. Okay. Yeah. So Marty Schottenheimer said, we did a lot of due diligence. So Atlanta, Baltimore, and the Jets had all invited Boston, but the Chargers never let him get out of town. Schottenheimer assured him that with Tomlinson, defenses wouldn't be able to double-team him, and Boston was sold, settling for just a $4 million signing bonus. But they said they reported it at 12 earlier. Yeah. I don't know if that was just part of the deal. Mm-hmm. Mean Joe Green said, I know one thing. The coach he's with right now ain't going to tolerate anything, Schottenheimer. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think I'm slinging mud at David either. I like David, but I was disappointed in his behavior last year. It was beyond disappointment. It was painful. Yeah. So they said his father, Byron, said his son is too good a kid from too good a family to be hearing these whispers. At 20, he turned pro, but the NFL was so full of hard bodies after that auto accident he needed an edge, and so his chiropractor referred him to a Canadian bodybuilder named Charles Poliquin. That's his personal trainer. Poliquin, known for bulking up hockey players and bobsledders, set two primary goals for Boston: reduce his insulin levels with low-carb, high-protein diets and vitamin supplements, and raise his growth hormone levels with vigorous workouts to build muscle. And also an injection full of human growth hormone, also, maybe, possibly, allegedly. It was all done away from his teammates, which is why when he showed up at Cardinals camp bigger and faster in 2001, the rumors about HGH started. Poliquin answers all of these, legit concerns and criticisms, I would say, with, quote, blah, blah, blah.
Whatever.
My hygiene is unbelievable. That's what this is.
It's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
It's amazing. He said, as a 25-year-old guy, David produces more growth hormone than he could buy in a store. Bullshit, no way. Fucking liar. You fucking liar. You piece of shit, lying scum fucking bag. You piece of... I hope your heart exploded sometime in the last 20 years. You fucking scumbag.
Your body just can't do that.
No, it produces... to say that just because a lot of people don't know and they'll read that, then they'll go to work the next day and they'll go, I mean, he could produce more than you could get in a store. That the people will start saying that.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un doesn't poop or pee.
Yeah, at all. And every fucking golf shot's a hole in one. He's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
He's just too busy to play on the PGA Tour. Doesn't have the fucking time for it.
He's got to run a country, James.
God damn it, this Poliquin. I want to kick him right in the balls. I don't care how big and jacked he is. I don't fucking care. I want to fucking beat the shit out of him.
He produces more than he could buy in the store.
Oh, what a fucking asshole. A lying, scummy asshole. I hope he's in prison or dead. One of the two is the only fucking things that would make me satisfied.
Be dead, right?
Fingers crossed. Fucking to the sky.
It's got to be dead.
Holy fuck, I hate this man. So, yeah, wow. An intense workout will boost your growth hormone 9 times above normal levels.
Is that right? No.
It'll put 40 pounds on you. No problem. You'd have to shoot yourself with a week's supply of HGH to equate one workout. Well, then that's what people fucking... That's what they do then, you idiot. People say he's on drugs. Food, if properly used, is a drug. So, yeah, he's on drugs. He buys them at Safeway. I want to punch this man.
All right.
I just dislike him so much.
It's It's all natural.
I just don't like
him. From, the meat department.
Didn't they bring up Victor Conti a minute ago?
I don't know.
Didn't we bring up Victor Conti? Didn't we say he was part of this? Isn't that the Balco asshole?
It is.
I'm looking back through this now because I think we just if
it's his name.
If Victor Conti's anywhere involved in this that we know for a fact, obviously, I have to go back through this because I can't fucking remember now. But I think Victor Conti was involved here. Okay, here's all the people they were talking. I had to go back to the other article that we had here from the what was his name? Richard Obert, that fucking moron.
Oh yeah.
That fucking hack idiot. Oh, is that so? I'll just write that down and fucking put it out to the whole fucking city. That's cool. I can't find it. We'll look it up again.
Did he say Victor Conti?
I could swear Victor Conti came up at some point here. I don't know if it was him or if it's this Sports Illustrated article or what it is, but there's definitely, I thought there was a Victor Conti reference in here. Now it's going to fucking bother me. Why didn't I catch that before? That's annoying. Anyway, either way, everybody's an asshole here. There are no good people here. So, they say that Poliquin referred him to a bobsledder originally from Guyana, is a guy named Ian Danny, I guess, here. And Danny's a speed trainer, but he's also a former biochemistry major at the University of Alberta who says Poliquin is using biomechanics to advance his theories. Also, drugs is helpful.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Boston asked Danny to train him, and Danny agreed and walked right into the rumor mill. Boston made it clear during contract talks with Chargers GM A.J. Smith that he and Danny were a package deal. At Schottenheimer's request, Boston promised to work out twice a week at the team facility, but he otherwise wanted to be free to train alone with this guy. The Chargers said, we're flexible. They said, but a handful of Charger players and coaches are already curious about Danny, who often stands with his backpack on the fringe of the Chargers practice field. The truth is, other than at meetings and practices, Boston and Danny are inseparable. Boston sleeps in a room he shares with Tomlinson. He signs in every day at the team cafeteria, but then he's off to see what organic food Danny has for him.
Yeah.
It's Danny who organizes Boston's day. It's Danny who brings in the registered nurses for the post-practice IV drips. It's Danny who has Boston take an average of 90 pills a day, and it's Danny who does the hormone insulin testing in room 614. Even though Schottenheimer says they're not concerned, the accusations come anyway. They come from a strength coach who used to work with Poliquin. This guy says, I started to question it the past year because I've compared pictures of David in 2001 to now, and his cheekbones have changed.
Yeah, and it's not 90 pills a day or a T-bone.
No, and that's if this actually worked, all the NFL teams would be doing it.
Absolutely.
Their whole fucking business is trying to win on the field. So they would give everybody IV drips in the that's all they would do. It's fucking ridiculous. So they come from current NFL players who assume a 6'2" wideout can't outweigh Lennox Lewis. Yeah. Rob Moore, remember him, a wide receiver? Jets for a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
He said,
is it Detroit too?
Possibly after the Jets. Yeah. He said, David works hard, but who wouldn't get suspicious? Mm-hmm. Boston says, I hear this all the time. People question me because my physique is totally different from everybody else's in the league. I'm just a freak of nature. That's what he's saying now.
I'm unbelievable.
My hygiene. He said, what am I supposed to do? Look, I'm perfect. What am I supposed to do? The gods have fucking blessed me. I don't know what to tell you. He said, I pass every drug test. I eat the right things. I work out hard. And when I sign a big contract, instead of buying a Benz, I move my trainer out here. That's dumb because at least later when you're out of the league, you can sell your Benz because this guy is going to be just money down the drain. He said, some people go to the movies. I like to lift weights and run. All I care about is my body. I take hot and cold contrast baths to flush my system out. I pay $5,000 to have a doctor test every pill I take. I watch my calorie intake. I take antioxidants. I eat egg whites and cottage cheese, lean steak with asparagus, protein shakes before and after practice, sushi and simple carbs at night like blueberries. I eat 6-7 meals a day. Yeah, I'm over 250 pounds, but I'll be 240 on opening day. I can lose weight anytime I want.
I eat all that, and I'm bad as shit.
I mean, none of that means that you're going to be...
No.
You don't run a 4.340 and fucking...
God, no.
You're not 5% body fat? He said the article said he can gain it too. How big can he get? He sits in room 614 and thinks about it. Quote, maybe 290, he says.
He wants to be a nearly 300-pound wide. He can't be that.
He said it wouldn't be for football, but give me a year and I could get to 290. Wow. So September 25th, 2003, the Cardinals suspend David Boston from the team for one game for conduct detrimental to the team. It's a suspension that was a result of a pattern of conduct in which Boston failed to comply with team policy, including missing or being late to mandatory activities, and it could cost him $32,000. The
Cardinals or the Chargers?
The Chargers did this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. He was suspended because he cursed out strength coach Dave Redding.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The incident was part of a pattern, they said, and this was just kind of the end of the fucking
the strength coach, the guy telling him what to do for his body, and he's saying, I pay somebody else to do this. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I pay somebody $200,000 a year to tell me this shit, and he's better than you. Yeah. And they're like, well, I don't know. It's my job. What do you want from me? So he's reinstated 4 days later because what are they going to do? He starts 14 games, has 70 catches for 880 yards and 7 touchdowns that year.
Not bad.
So not bad, but, not.
We need a bigger guy. Yeah,
not the best in the world.
Yeah.
How about you lose 20 pounds? Let's see if you lose a little bit, maybe a few more yards, and let's get the right weight to yards ratio going on here with you. March 16th, 2004, he's traded by the Chargers to the Dolphins for a 6th-round pick in 2005.
Wow.
That's what he gets traded for.
Boy, did he slide in value.
Yeah, the rumors around him are just terrible. He's an asshole. Yeah. Nobody likes him. The coaches hate him. March 21st, 2004, another article. The Miami Herald has an article saying, no steroids here at all. Just a fucking
doing great.
Greek god. Miami Herald, quote, definitions of the player can prove as elusive as Boston is in an open field.
Oh.
The receiver can go deep. Philosophically, metaphysically deep enough to suggest a probing mind is at work atop that maniacally grown mass of muscle.
Okay.
He's a Greek god who's also brilliant.
He's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Boston recently attended a seminar on the concept of universal intelligence. That doesn't mean he's smart.
No.
He's interested in quantum physics, biomechanics, and physiology.
I'm interested in all of it, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand
whatever
it.
Stephen Hawking said, I'm interested in it, but I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. That's the difference, because I'm stupid and Boston's even dumber. So what do you want from me? Let's see. Devours books by Frank Netter on the human anatomy. Speaks a bit of French. He says oui when they give him something.
Yeah.
Yet other... Yeah. Ménage à trois. That's... Huh? See, I am French.
Filthy and French.
That's it. Yet other elements of Boston's personality imply superficiality and convey a man who cares about nothing more passionately than what he admires, flexing in the mirror. The man's hometown, Humble, Texas, hardly describes him, and this side of Boston can overwhelm and become all you see. And then it's a colon, a peacock in pads. That's all you see. His falling out with the San Diego Chargers, which led to his trade to Miami, happened largely because the team became convinced that Boston cared more about his physique than about football. They say the player's body is his obsession. He says, all I care about is my body. That's what he said in the late summer. So, yeah. A personal trainer, chef, chiropractor, acupuncturist help minister that body. His workout regimen of weights and cardiovascular training is intense, consuming, and diet minutely regulated. Boston, only 25, young. He's already on his 3rd team, and he's a terrible reputation.
On his way out of the league.
He's like Antonio Brown 3 years ago. 25, swallows up to 90 supplements per day. Twice a week, he undergoes a 90-minute intravenous drip of magnesium and other minerals to speed his body's recovery to better prepare for the next season of weightlifting. He falls into a trance-like state, listening to the sound of ocean waves while the IV bag hangs above his head. He oils his arms before games so his 21-inch biceps glisten. One guy said at the end of 2001, he was as ballet type of big guy as you'll see. In other words, light on his feet, able to dance on the sidelines and make catches. That's what you want, a big guy who is nimble.
Acrobatic,
He could dance along the sideline like it was Saturday Night Fever. That's what they said. Boston has denied he even uses steroids. They're saying he was tested and all that, but the whispers chase him as surely as they do Barry Bonds in baseball. The speculation about human growth hormones, HGH, is flatly refuted by his personal trainer, Charles Poliquin. Quote, "I hear this all the time," Boston told the ESPN magazine last summer when referring to the rumors. "What am I supposed to do? I eat the right things. I work out hard. What do you want from me?" Oh, my God. There's speculation that Boston is unnaturally developed, not his only baggage. The one coach said, yeah, there's some dirt out there. The Dolphins are convinced that Boston's drug use is in the past, and they're seemingly unconcerned about his controversies. Okay. Boston, speaking previously or briefly with local media Thursday, deflected all questions about anything controversial, about anything in his rearview mirror. He said, "I'm focused on the future." Interesting. So that's how he's going. They're talking about his dad also as a 10-year vet, and, his son, I guess they said he only weighed 130 pounds as a high school sophomore, and then he started lifting weights and all that kind of thing. And come on, they said, you don't see guys come up and press him. He'll swat them like little gnats, is what his dad says. People think he works out to look good. He does it for his game. That's his dad saying that. So
okay,
Silver.
Well, then why does he put fucking baby oil on it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So he in Miami in 2004, his debut is delayed because there's a 4-game suspension because he tests positive at the beginning of the season.
Uh-oh, for what?
We'll talk about it. And then he missed the remainder of 2004 when he tore ligaments in his knee, which is exactly what the Cardinals said was going to happen here. So yeah, he's got a lot of problems. Let's just say we could put it. He's got a fucking issue.
Yeah.
So they're saying that he was declared out. This is a torn patella tendon again. Same thing, left knee.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yep, injured while running a route on Friday during practice.
A practice route too. That's
practice
good.
Route. So the Dolphins place him on IR.
Uh-huh.
Yes, he was some banned substance he was caught on. I don't know what it was because the NFL doesn't release everything, but he was caught with some banned substance.
Something he's not allowed to have.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what 4 games is the one they do that for. So he's placed on the IR. He's done. So 2004, he doesn't fucking play. Sits out with his knee all fucked up.
Yeah.
Yep. October 21st, 2004, has more surgery. Yep. Season-ending operation for his tendon. And they said he plans to be back by the spring. October 2004, though, he's arrested in Vermont, of all places.
What is he doing way up there?
We've had very few crime and sports people ever arrested in Vermont. I don't think he might be the first.
Yeah, very few athletes ever end up in Vermont at all. There's no games there.
Well, he was at the Burlington International Airport, so he didn't even get into Vermont proper. He was still at the airport.
Is it a connector? What was he doing at that airport?
When he's arrested on charge of simple assault. Is he hanging out with Pac-Man? What's going on here?
What's he beating up people in the airport for?
The assault is against Ed Gorchinski, a 59-year-old ticket/gate agent. You fucking asshole. He beat up some 60-year-old fucking gate guy.
I think I remember this.
What a fucking dick. No further details were listed other than he is arrested for simple assault here. I mean, he would have been arrested for attempted murder if he actually did anything to him because he's so huge.
Fought a guy in a gate
agent in Vermont, of all places.
It's got to be a small airport, right?
I can't imagine it's large.
It's got to be.
It's probably
gate
small.
Numbers, there's no letters in front of those numbers, right?
Raleigh-Durham was pretty small. You know what I mean? Compared to other places, so this has got to be tiny, probably.
There's no way it has more than one terminal.
Nope. December 7th, 2004. He pleads innocent to it, though. Says he didn't do anything here. He didn't appear in court. His lawyer pled innocent on his behalf. He was accused of striking a U.S. Airways customer service agent in the face after the guy refused to let him board a plane. Boston said that told police that this guy had caused him to miss his flight and that he had spit in his face. Gorchinski said the flight was running late and that he urged Boston to hurry to the plane, but he said he took his time. So Gorchinski then refused to let him board the plane. He said, this is post 9/11. Once the door's closed, it's fucking closed.
Sorry, man.
That's done. It. So he got mad and did something to the guy. So December 11th, 2004, the NFL suspends David Boston for fucking steroids.
Yeah?
But he's out with a knee injury anyway, so doesn't matter. He will lose $1.34 million, which is 1/4 of his salary because he's not available to play because he's suspended. So his agent, Mitch Frankel, denied he used steroids, even though it's obvious he's using steroids, and now he's tested positive for steroids still.
He's got a little symptoms, and his piss is full of it.
Yeah, just because it's obvious, and everybody that's ever known him says it's true, and you can just look at 2 pictures and logically see it. No, not even. And also, it's in his blood still. He said, I did not take any anabolic steroids, but it was decided that I tested for a related substance. Yes, they're starting to develop different tests now.
Right. Yeah.
He said the NFL has always strived, this is the NFL here, the NFL has always strived to provide the highest level of accuracy and reliability in its testing procedures. There are usually higher standards than other organizations. This is his agent. However, I believe the NFL utilized lower standards of reliability in testing criteria in this case. Mm-hmm. They were like, let's make it less reliable. So now he can be tested a lot more. At this point, in 2005, February 3rd, he's going to be convicted of his airport attack here.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. He's ordered to pay, you, sir, may fuck off, $500 fine with $96 in court surcharges and $211.84 in restitution to this guy.
That Vermont is a beautiful place.
Wow.
What lovely people.
That is fucking funny, man. He said,
so affordable.
Before he was sentenced, he said, quote, I'm sorry for the whole incident. I've learned a lot from it. I've learned to keep my cool in every situation. I like for others to treat me just like I treat them. I learned a lot.
I also learned that when
That's
my
nice.
fucking boarding pass says it boards at 150, I get on the plane at 150.
I get on the fucking plane. Yeah. When they call Group 1, get on the fucking plane, asshole.
Get on the fucking plane.
So the NFL has ordered also him to take mandatory anger management classes as well.
Oh.
So there you go. Then they asked him, did you find it helpful? And he said, yes, I sure have. I sure have learned a lot from it.
Okay. This costs a lot.
Oh, wow, that's some Eddie Haskell shit there.
Yeah.
Sure have, ma'am.
Sure.
These
Sure
are
have,
delicious
Miss Cleaver.
cookies. They make them yourself? Fucking jackass.
Boy, Mr. Cleaver.
Oh, man. So this is fucking wild. Also, they say Gorczynski might sue him. Also, he hired a lawyer.
would, yeah.
Why not? Fuck this guy. Giant jacked up asshole punching me because I'm trying to tell him what the
Roid raging at the airport.
what FAA rules are. It's not like it's up to
Right.
me. I can't open the fucking door. They're closed. So he said, thankfully, this case in Vermont is resolved, and I'm glad it's behind me. Absolutely. So this is hilarious, by the way. This whole thing is a mess. So February 14, 2005, reinstated from suspension. March 7, 2005, shit canned from Miami. They release him.
From Miami. Wow.
They cut him, but then he re-signs for the veteran minimum. So they said, we want you, just not at your salary.
Not at that price, yeah.
So $700,000 he plays for.
Oh, boy.
Yep, and we'll talk about it because he doesn't last very long. He plays in a few games, tears his knee up again.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's almost like he's too big for his knees.
The other knee or the same knee?
Same knee, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that knee is pretty fucked. So 2005.
Yeah, eventually they start drilling the bone and wiring tendon through
there's
the
all
bone.
sorts of shit.
Once they start doing it that way, dude, it's over for you.
It's a mess. So that year, Miami, 2005, they're 9-7 under Nick Saban. Remember his brief NFL sojourn there where he was terrible that he likes people to forget about? David Boston. They also had Marty Booker, who's another big, strong receiver there. He was good.
Yeah.
The guy used to play for the Bears. So, otherwise, it's the Dolphins. What do you want? They place him in November on IR. He played in 5 games, started 0, had 4 receptions for 80 yards.
Okay.
And that's that for Miami. 2006, the Tampa Bay Bucks sign him.
Really?
Yep. They said his status is still unclear. They're now calling him a reclamation project. So now it's like they pulled like a 68 Carmen Ghia out of a junkyard, and they're trying to find a fucking water pump for it.
We're going to rotisserie restore this thing.
Fucking A.
Sandblast it.
Let's get it going. So they asked John Gruden, who was the coach, if Boston will be on the final roster at the end of training camp.
And Gruden said, I might not be.
Gruden said, what the fuck do I know? Yeah. Gruden said, I'm not going to say anything other than he's in my heart and in my prayers every night, which isn't a good sign.
No.
He said, I like Boston. I like guys who have a history of being great. The media say I like veteran players. Any idiot can like guys who can play and have played great in this league because it's hard to do, man. Play great. So he likes someone who's ever shown flashes of greatness.
Right.
So they say that Boston showed signs he could be the player he once was, which is to say a dominant physical receiver. He had one good year. One. That's it. One good year and made his whole career off it. He didn't show that until the final preseason game when his opponents were second and third string defenders. Yeah, they're just getting guys in there. Still, it was encouraging and tantalizing for the team to see Boston go over the middle, taking on tacklers, and to see him stretching the defense as a downfield threat. So maybe he'll make the team. There we go. Boston said, I'm holding my breath. I don't know. It's the NFL, and there's lots of moves to be made. I just go out there and try to do the best job I can to let the coaches evaluate. Yep. He had only one catch in the previous 3 games, and the extent of his success was drawing consecutive pass interference calls against Jacksonville. He said
he got 2 PI calls
against him.
That's a big day.
Not against him, but the other guy. Yeah, he got 2 guys to interfere with him.
Right, and that's a big day.
It's a big day. He said, I hadn't really done anything in the other preseason games, so it was good for me to get out there and compete again. And, yeah, I would say so. Jesus. John Gruden said, here's a guy who caught 6 passes tonight, and it's really the first time David Boston has played that much football in a long time. David says they say it's a credit to him and a real credit to Richard Mann. Dick Man.
What?
Big D on his chest. Dick Man.
Dick Man.
Wow. Our receivers coach who pushed him and stimulated him. I had to make sure that's what it said.
Better be careful.
And worked with him to try to fight through the dark moments. But those moments are in the past, Boston believes. He says, I don't have any pain in my knee. I'm feeling good. He said, I haven't had any pain since midway through the offseason. Gruden says, I don't know. He says, there's some real dark moments the last couple of years for this guy. I'm thrilled he had a chance to see the ball, make some plays, and get back on the grass and do what he does. It was a big night for David tonight. What do you think's going to happen here? This does not sound like he's making the team. This sounds like a Make-A-Wish kid. It was a big night for him tonight.
Right.
He'll be dead tomorrow, but
yeah.
We're so glad he got to meet John Cena tonight, and he's feeling much better about himself.
He'll be unemployed, but we're really glad that he got to high-five Warren Sapp.
Yep, and the next day, they fucking cut him.
Yeah.
Exactly what happens. Yep, He's released the night before the home opener. Done.
Wow.
They're like, fuck, man. He's attempting a comeback. It's not working. So June 21st, 2007, he says he's ready to come back again. He's ready.
Oh, boy.
That's right. He's ready. He's ready to go. He wants to come back. And,
Nobody wants him.
This is from Tampa. The article says, Dave McGinnis can still close his eyes and see David Boston streaking toward the end zone past Raider Nation with a helpless John Gruden grimacing on the opposing sideline. Boston's 50-yard touchdown in the final minutes of regulation helped Arizona spring a huge overtime upset at Oakland late in the 2001 season.
Oh, boy.
So that's why Gruden wanted him. He remembered him blowing him up in a big game 5 years ago. McGinnis said, I'm pulling for David Boston. I'm pulling for him hard. For 15 games this year, I'm all on his side. In other words, unless he plays against me.
Right.
So, yeah, this is pretty fucking funny. So Boston, I mean, they keep talking about he was one of the elite receivers, and I remember David Boston as a beast, a dominating force. None of this says he's going to be now.
No.
So he's trying, though. He's trying to get back onto a fucking roster here. He said, a lot of people have forgotten that I even play anymore. You're putting it loosely. Yeah. We play the same amount pretty much. Right. He said, let's be honest, if I don't make the team this year, I probably won't play anymore. I'm just going out there trying to do as much as I can, be in tune with what's going on, and make plays when I can. So he's back in Tampa trying to make it again. Gruden said, come on back. Gruden said, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. If you ask our players, they will tell you he's really impressive. So you think he's impressed or no?
Evidently, they're very impressed.
He was one of the elite receivers in football 4 or 5 years ago, and everyone kind of rolls their eyes and forgets he's not even 30 yet.
That's not a positive thing to say about somebody.
Fucked up this much, yeah.
Remember when he used to be great?
Remember that? Wow. He said this. Let's do an in their own words here. I really feel like this is an appropriate place for an in their own words because it's perfect. In their own words, quote, anybody who has made mistakes has learned from them, and those who won't will continually make the same mistakes in life. I've made a lot of mistakes. And I've seen my career, how it's gone one way for a few years and how it's gone another way for the last few years. The thing I've learned most is don't take anything for granted. You never know when the opportunity is going to be gone.
It's true, yeah.
That's right. And then August 23rd, 2007, in the midst of training camp while trying to make the team, he appears to be arrested for reckless driving when from a DUI. So, because it was a DUI and it ends up being reduced to reckless driving.
Really?
Because he takes a plea on it in 2008 here. Yeah. So, pulled over and arrested there. Not wonderful, I would say.
Where is that at?
Pinellas County, Florida, Tampa. Tampa, yep. First it was a DUI, and it was lowered. So there he goes. He's not doing well at all.
No.
He is doing bad. Fucking terribly. Where do you go from here?
Overseas? Canada? I don't know.
You know when you're walking around a city, like when we go on the road and we're walking around a city and we see the parks and there's just people, some of the people just sitting on a bench staring. They don't even look homeless or anything. They're just like, I don't know where to go. That's David Boston right now, I feel like.
Lost.
A lost soul here. I mean, he needs help. He needs somebody to do something. Luckily, in the distance, he hears dogs a-barking. And he's like, what the fuck is that? Are they here to bring me my food or give me my IV drips? Ooh, they're not, though. Yeah. Instead, it's Bobby Colorado.
Oh, boy.
And he says... How is it you come to arrive here? Jesus, look at the fucking size of you. For Christ's sake, look at you. You could bounce a fucking dime off of your bicep. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. Listen, you're looking for work possibly. You know what? Yeah. I could use some help with these dogs is all I'm saying. I train them, you know what I mean? I'm from Fredericksburg, Texas. That's true. Don't think it's not. Yeah, you know what I mean? So... I could use some help, and I figure you with these maybe nutrition, maybe you could feed the dogs and help me there. No, don't. What are you doing?
Scraps?
What do you got? A needle in your? No, don't stick. Hey, get those fucking needles away from my dogs. What's wrong with you? I don't want them to be fucking enormous, you fucking maniac. Get out of here. No, I'm going. Nah, you can't touch my dogs. Fuck you. I'm going. And then poof, in a cloud of dog shit, he's gone. And David's very confused, and he's holding a needle out at dog height, trying to inject a dog, and it's not there. What's the matter with you, huh?
My hygiene's...
It's fucking unbelievable. Hey, your hygiene is fucking unbelievable. Let me tell you something. You know what? My hygiene's unbelievable.
What is that smell? It's beautiful.
August 26, 2007, right after the DUIs here, the Bucks support the receiver, they say.
Really?
We got his back. Very silver. We're like, listen, we just want the best for him. We've investigated the David Boston situation and feel that we have an understanding of the facts. At this time, we've seen no objective evidence to support the charges that were brought against him. Okay.
Really?
Yes. So September 7th, 2007, the DUI case will go on against him. Police say the charge stands against him as well.
Yeah, because we've got enough evidence.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said the test results were not released because the case is still under investigation, but he failed a test or whatever. So David Boston said, all I'm able to say at this time is that I've done nothing wrong. I was not impaired. I have assured and will continue to assure the Buccaneers that I have done nothing wrong, and in the end, when this matter is resolved, the facts will show that I've done nothing wrong. I appreciate the Bucs and the fans for believing in me and their support.
Done nothing wrong.
Yeah, Coach John Gruden said, I don't have any information on that. Once we get information, we'll move accordingly. Yeah. Don't fucking know here. So they say David Boston's attorney said we're very, very confident. Apparently, he was arrested here after he was found asleep at the wheel of his Range Rover.
Oh, Dave.
They suspected that he might be under the influence of drugs and alcohol when they noticed his eyes were fluttering. They took him into custody and performed a breathalyzer test. When it came back negative, an officer known as a drug recognition expert was asked to test Boston. Boston protested that he was innocent and refused to participate in the tests, as is his right. So they took a urine sample because you don't have to do a sobriety test. Yeah. And they say that the urine sample confirmed it. So here is September 12, 2007, Tampa Tribune here. This is some silver shit coming out. They said they found him passed out in his car. Barely 24 hours later, Bucs general manager Bruce Allen dismissed the case against him. We have investigated the Boston situation, all of that shit. Boston's urine test came back that he tested positive for GHB.
Oh.
He's fucking roofying himself.
Date rape drugged himself?
Yes. Which a lot of the bodybuilders, that's a big deal. They like that shit. That's what they use. So he's a big bodybuilder. That makes perfect sense. And you can't be driving when you're on GHB.
No.
A little sleepy and known to cause hallucinations as well. So not good. They said GHB wouldn't show up in a sample by mistake. There's a specific test for it, and anyone using it in any form could have, a lot of fucking issues here. So this is just ridiculous. But Tampa here, the Bucks knew that there was an arrest warrant waiting to happen when they brought him here, and they did it anyway, just like they always do, is what the fucking article says, which is hilarious. This guy's taking him to task. Joe Henderson, writing for the Tampa Tribune, his balls might have dropped at some point, unlike the other two fucking pussies. So John Gruden recently declared of Stevens, his problems are in the past. So they said they investigated after Boston's arrest and decided all was well. And that was that. So Bruce, was it Allen here? I'm sorry. The Bruce Allen, that's I believe the GM here. He
date rape drugged himself enough to fall asleep in his Range Rover?
Fall asleep in his Range Rover.
Wow.
They said if Bruce Allen had been on the Warren Commission, Kennedy would have been day-to-day with a paper cut. He'd blame the media for making too much of the whole riderless horse and eternal flame thing. Good thing he didn't have Ben Bradley's job at the Washington Post during Watergate. Woodward and Bernstein, we've got a wide-ranging conspiracy involving high levels of government, including the president. Bruce Allen, I checked, nothing to it.
I found it to be meritless.
All good. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this guy's silver as it gets, Bruce Allen. He is as silver as it goes. Also on September 12th, 2007, Boston was officially released by Tampa.
All done.
All done. November 1st, 2007, looks like an arrest here. This is in Broward County, Florida, and it is for battery, false imprisonment.
What'd he do?
Exposing culpable negligence and resisting or obstructing without violence.
Okay.
Not good. I think he
took a phone.
Sounds like, he got into trouble with a lady is what that sounds like. Mm-hmm. He then, April through June 2008, he signs with the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. Yeah. And he reported to training camp, but medical report showed a stress fracture in his right foot and recommended surgery. He was placed on the suspended list and never practiced or played at all.
How about that?
A doctor's second opinion said, however, it was a 2-year-old injury and cleared him to play in the regular season opener when he recorded 2 receptions for a total of 16 yards. The following day, though, after the game, he reported feeling too much pain and opted to follow the doctor's suggestion and get surgery. So he was done.
Wow.
That's it for pro football for him forever.
Do you think he signed with them just to get insurance enough to get the foot surgery?
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe
I think
he already knew.
He was in the NFL long enough where he's got insurance.
He's got a pension? Yeah.
I think health insurance. Yeah, he was in there long enough. So, but this is, he just can't run without breaking his legs because he's too heavy.
Who knows? That stress fracture may have been from the Hummer.
We have no idea.
We don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. June 3rd, 2009, here is another arrest, resisting or obstructing without violence is his thing. December 11th, 2011 also, and that ends up being dealt with in court later in 2009, the resisting. But 2011, he's out at a night of drinking in Boca Raton.
Here we go. Florida.
Here we go. December 2nd, and the headline is Former Dolphin Charged in Beating of Woman. Very nice.
Oh, no. Tell me he's got a short temper?
A little bit. David Boston's accused of beating a woman after a night of drinking Tuesday in Boca Raton. She wouldn't take the GHB. I had to beat her.
And then beat it into her.
Boston, who played for the Dolphins here, they said, punched a woman twice in the head, leaving a gash big enough to require 10 stitches. 10.
He opened a cut for 10 stitches with a punch.
I've fucking cracked my eyebrow. I have 2 huge scars on my eyebrows. You can see I've cracked one open in a fucking wall. It took like 3 stitches to close, and it was huge and pouring blood onto my face.
He opened a woman's head 10 inches with 2 punches.
Wow. The incident was at the 21,000 block of Cromwell Circle, according to the Boca Raton police. He's going to be charged with aggravated battery for that.
On the street he did this?
Can't fucking do. No, it was a 2100 block. They're not giving the exact address is what it is.
In a house somewhere.
Cromwell Circle sounds like a
home.
Home, like a cul-de-sac or something. December 7th, 2011, he is now charged with tampering with a witness or victim.
Oh, telling her don't testify.
That's not good. Oh, also battery. Let's not forget that.
Jesus God.
He's facing 3 years in jail.
No shit.
Oh, yeah. He could face nearly 3 years in prison for punching a woman. Palm Beach County prosecutors say that Boston pleaded guilty to aggravated battery now. So he pleads.
Oh, he pled, yeah.
Facing up to 35 months in prison. And they say that authorities say he was drinking at a Boca Raton home when he punched a woman twice in the head and she needed 10 stitches. So his attorney says his client is extremely remorseful for his actions and as he accepts full responsibility. That is December of 2012, I believe. Yes, that's November 7th, 2012. He does that. December 7th, 2012, he is arrested for assault and hindering apprehension.
My God.
Hindering apprehension or prosecution of a known felon and assault. So two assault charges and 2 of the hindering charges. So he's going to get jail here, by the way. Here we go. Circuit Court Judge Charles Burton ordered Boston to immediately begin serving you, sir, may fuck off 6 months for aggravated battery here. Wow, that's wild. That's a lot. The judge also gave him a break, declining the attorney for the state, Christy Rogers' request for Boston to serve a 4-year sentence. That's a lot. They said the judge said, "I believe he's sincere in his remorse." I don't know about that, boy. Psychiatrist Lawrence Tucker testified an evaluation of Boston's brain shows at least 4 concussions from his playing days. Boston said he joined ex-players in suing the NFL over head trauma. So, I mean, that's terrible. He doesn't know what's going on. He's having a bad time being David Boston. He really is, I'll tell you what. I mean, head trauma, that's bad. Maybe he's too fucking cloudy on between the steroids and the hitting the head and all this shit to even know he was hitting anybody. I feel bad for everybody involved, but not nearly as bad as I feel for David Boston. He's an actor and a member of SAG-AFTRA, all those things. He does commercial, print, voiceover artist, and he's a published poet as well.
Really?
And and everyone just goes, that receiver that was jacked up all the time. And also, there's a music festival stuff on him. David Boston, a student at NYU from North Bergen, New Jersey. The poor guy. And also, from 1948, if you happen to be there, stop by to hear David Boston do revival meetings at the North Waco Baptist Church.
Fantastic.
Because he'll be there as well. September 22nd, 2022, here he is. Here's an article catching up with him here. 2022. It's been 10 years. He's been quiet. After jail, he got quiet. They said, well, Humble, Texas might not jump off the map the way Houston does. It's considered a hidden gem of sorts in the state. Within this hidden gem of a town is a hidden gem of a person. That resident is David Boston, a former NFL All-Pro who returned to his hometown a handful of years after his playing career. I just wanted to reconnect with my family, Boston said of his decision to come back. We are all a really close family here in Houston, so once my playing days were over, I felt like I wanted to be around good support and be around them. So he said, when I moved back to Texas, I was around my family and started a CrossFit gym and trained younger kids.
What?
CrossFit.
Yeah.
I decided to be a bigger douche than I've ever been before. I loved it and still do favors with some of the high school kids, but when I was around my family, I felt like it gave me a good system, a support system to be around. I don't like favors and high school kids being in the same sentence, but I get what he's getting at. He owns a commercial plaza in his hometown, along with his wife, Erin, who he met when he moved back to Humble. He said, I never thought when I was at Ohio State I'd be in commercial real estate, but here I am. We plan to open up another commercial building on a tract of land somewhere near Houston. We've been scouting several locations, so we're going to continue to stay in the real estate business on the development side, buying the land and developing the buildings.
Got to be with her money, right? He can't have much money left.
I can't. I mean, unless he saved it. Maybe he was good with his money.
I don't know if he was paying
all those people, all that money.
Oh, man.
He might have had a money guy too, though. And if he listened to everybody, maybe he actually listened to his fucking money guy that said, let me put all this in a thing for you. You know what I mean? Who knows? So he said, Jalen, who's 14, is a basketball player year round, and he's doing really well. My younger son, Braden, is primarily a baseball player, but he plays basketball as well and does well in both. He said his sons are what he's excited about. He said, I'm really looking forward to watching them grow and develop into top athletes. It says his net worth is $10 million right now. I don't know if that's a fact or not, obviously, as we know, but that's what he says. Net worth around $10 million, which I don't see how he would still have that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, Fox Superstar Culture says he has $86 million.
Which, that's what he made in his career. On
he
paper.
didn't even make that.
That's what his contracts were probably on paper or some shit.
I don't know.
I don't know how the hell he'd have $86 million. In commercial real estate, you'd have to own half of Houston to have that kind of fucking money.
His average salary was 6.7.
Yeah, that's
I don't know how he'd have $86 million.
I don't either. I don't know how that happened. Maybe they're just wrong. It's the internet. That's possible.
Maybe they just have no fucking idea and haven't seen his bank account.
That's possible. I mean, he has enough to buy land and develop buildings. I guess good for him. He doesn't seem to be beating anybody up. He hasn't got arrested in over 12 years.
Yeah. What's his wife do?
Works in commercial real estate. It's a company they have together. He says they do it together, him and his wife, Erin. So maybe his kids are maybe he just said, you know what? I got to fucking grow up.
Yeah.
Let me marry this nice lady, have a couple of fucking kids, and be boring and work on commercial real estate and not care if my arms are 21 inches. Maybe. I don't know. So here is a quote from him that just sums up all of David Boston. Quote,
terrific.
It's not like I just fall out of bed and look like this. Takes a lot.
Hygiene's unbelievable.
My hygiene's unbelievable. Here we go. Can't get enough of David Boston. Get on eBay here where there's a 1999 Elite Donruss football card. It's his rookie card in the old Ohio State uniform. It's $1.49. So,
but the guy's got $86 million.
He's got tons of money. Also, a vintage 1990s champion jersey, the old Cardinals one with the flag on each sleeve there, one of those, a white one. It is $39.99, David Boston Cardinals jersey.
Because all the Tillman ones are flying off the shelf.
Or best offer, by the way. Yeah, they're going to get him and Thomas Jones. They're both going to do great. And that, everybody, is David Boston.
His wife is a doctor, James.
There you go.
Of what, though? I don't know. Who knows?
That's
She may be a
the thing.
chiropractor. We don't know.
I'm sure she or some kind of fucking nutritionist or some bullshit. So
fucking ridiculous.
But from his family, it would make sense because you could take somebody, a nice person, and go, I'm going to take you to Christmas at my house, and holy fuck, these are great, nice people, and it makes him look better by just fucking association. He looks better. So there he goes. If you like the show, if you like all this shit, get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars because it really helps out a lot. We don't understand why, but it does. So check it out and do that. And thank you for doing that. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get all your merch, get all your stuff, get all your shit. Get tickets for live STM shows. Do it all. Speaking of that, listen to Small Town Murder. Listen to Your Stupid Opinions, please. They're excellent shows, and we think you'd enjoy them. So check them out. Follow us on social media at Crime and Sports. Please do that. And you definitely want Patreon. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. All the best bonus material. You're going to get hundreds of bonus episodes in the back catalog as soon as you sign up. Anybody $5 a month or above. And you get new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder. And how much of that do they get, everybody?
Oh, all of it.
They get it all. That's right, Jimmy. And Crime and Sports this week, what we're going to talk about is the New England Patriots cheating scandals, the various ones. Yeah. And why they kept getting in trouble every other year.
Unbelievable.
And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to finish up and talk about all the weird Ed Gein shit. We did the Ed Gein house contents and all that last week. Now we're going to find out what's the contents of his head.
What's in there?
A lot of weird shit. Bats and cobwebs and shit. We'll see it.
A couple of things.
Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of that. And if you do that, you will also get a shout out, which will happen right goddamn now. Jimmy, hit me with the names of the people who would never punch us twice and leave giant gashes requiring 10 stitches because they're on so much fucking growth hormone. Hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producers are Kevin Spilker, Raymond Russ, and Sean Carter. Thank you all so much for what you do.
Jay-Z gave us money. Very nice. Thank you, Jay-Z.
Yeah. He's got plenty to go
We
around.
appreciate it.
Other producers this week are Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Lanza.
The Blackjacks. Blackjack Mulligan's a big wrestler. He also got busted for counterfeiting money at one point. So we're going to talk about his whole family on a bonus episode.
Tremendous. And also Fearless Fosnick. Another one? Yeah. He's fearless. That's all I know. Peyton Meadows, Cassie Wright. Happy birthday, Garrett.
Happy
Travis
birthday.
Novotny. Dan Ward is back in the Navy. Congrats, Dan. It took him, I don't know, he said after 17 years. That's a long time to be out of it.
That seems
Is that
like
what our Navy's made up of? People
old
that have been out of
guys.
the military
How
for
old are
17
you?
years?
If you're our age, I don't want you in combat.
That's
Probably,
Dan.
That's terrifying. Good luck to
Guard
you.
your knees, man. Janice Hill, Frank the South African birdwasher is back. My girl Brandy down in Florida, she's terrific. Catherine Stumberg Laughhead, I think. Taylor Clegg and Goth Brooks. Oh, Kip,
Hey, Goth.
What a guy. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
for
Great to see you.
everything. So
I
good
would
to
have
see you.
come out with you guys if I did not have to be at the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
that was bad.
happens. Yeah, Ginger Thomas, Holly Vincent, Heather Riley, Michelle Grizz, Stephen with no last name, Jeremy Regalski, Alexis Molnar, Rob Mansuetti, Mansuetti, gross.
Awesome. Mansweat.
Christy Conklin, Hunter Rainville, Nicole Miller, Tyler Ringer, Sophia B., Mark Saunders, Elizabeth Williams, Isaac Hopkins, Abby with no last name, Carrie with no last name, Kelly Grosstein. Oh, and she got 2 new Patreons. Thank you, Kelly. That's
you
so
gifting
nice.
one? That's
Probably
lovely. What a nice
That's
person.
so sweet. Rachel Schaefer, TP123, Kevin Carrier, Crystal Reimer, Lane Calder, Allie Staples, Miranda Casper, Gabby and Jace's mom, Pamela Eckstein, Judd, or maybe it's Jude, no last name, Rachel
Hey, Jude.
Marcion,
Thanks for
Abby
your cash.
Matracia,
very
Courtney Murphy, Rachel Danielle Bauer, Harriet with no last name, Sebastian Ainsworth, Cassie Jones. Oh, Jesus, I clicked a window. God damn it. Cassie Jones, here we go. We're right on track. Here they are. Cassie Jones, she's right there. Kevin Parsley, Squizzy.
He scrolled.
Squizzy with no last name. Jennifer Eisenhower, Lewis Mashmet, Zach with no last name, Wilma Fingerdew, Zach
Really?
Marks.
Finger don't.
That's what it says. Finger do not. Zach Marks, Ice Chanel, Jennifer Miller, Hambone Jones, Laura Clifton, Cameron Blair, Amelia Briggs, Chris C., Teresa Martin, Julie Kaiser, Blanton Unger, Megan Sutton, Christy, nope, that's Ricky Kasich, Sarah
Old
Plinkton,
Christy Ricky.
Pilkington, Sophia with no last name, Kate Whittemore, Emily Wood, Casey with no last name, Helena Gray, Matthew Dyer, Mark Ryan, Sarah Cowan, Leanne White, Christina Fox, Jasmine Soto, James Lucchese maybe,
Hey,
Becca
it's Lucchese.
Rower, Sherry Thompson, Megan LeSueur, Bobby J. Nicholson, Julian Sparrow, Kelly Lynch, Janine Hildebrand, Billy B., Charlie Dwight, Amber Mondragon, Bonnie Hunt, Katie Simmons, Holly Karavich, Becca Martin, DMW 912, Virginia Sanders, Courtney Benson, Padre Paul Ballin, Christy,
Pops.
what is that? Christy Jackson, H and G, the letters HG, Jimmie with no last name, Sky Atterbury, Micah Reynolds, Rachel Kidney, Jennifer Chappelle, Carr Baum, Eli Bloom, Morgan Scoten, Heather Levings, Ron Jennings, Alex Schmidt, Alex Henderson, Matt Eichelberger,
Very nicely done.
Chrissy Fowler, Lorenzo Migalara, Benji Will, Brad Donovan. Hey, Brad.
Hello,
Kathleen
Brad.
Comer, Kennedy Daly, Molly Varley, Martha Pavelek. Good fuck. Nicole Schaefer, Blake Adams, Karen McGuire, Tara Kersey, Michael Fogenbauer, Dustin Kissling, fuck, Molly Golick, Kevin Kabata, Jordan Whaley, Mandingo, don't like saying that at all.
Wow.
JoJo loves Dee Dee, Anil Weiss, Anel Wyese, Casey Wolin, Shelley with no last
Do
name,
it wise.
Justin.
Anal wise.
Justin Coomer, Trevor Thomas, Delray Curry, Scott M, Danny We Love, Jimmie Gleason, Timberland, Sagestone, Douglas Lee, Shell Bell, Brent Reed, Joe with no last name, Bailey Grunberg, Elizabeth Hansen, Steve Brown, Brandon Jones, Matthew Plew, Michael Vorndron, Celeste Smith, Caleb Smith, they're probably from the same family. Martin Christensen, Radium Suppository, that's gross. T. Britt, Bonnie Christensen, probably Martin's friend, a wife, maybe sister, who knows?
Somebody.
Michael Kaler, Mary Schutz, Emma Bell Hinkle, Brian Zielinski, Jason Timms, Megan Pease, maybe. Tyler Baines, Tyler Daly. What? Rachel? Nope, that's Rich. Rich Summers, Tristan Ellis, Justin Pearson. That's a lot of R's. Lisa King, Riley with no last name, James Sagona, Morgan Hernandez, Matthew Whittemore, Tim White, Jess Housley, Jordan Pass, Gemma with no last name, Helena Johnston, Brooke Hernday, Douglas Chenault, Tynan Bennett, Stephanie, that's a fascinating, Carrier, Don Thompson, Ramsey with no last name,
confusing.
AJ, Deanna Baker, Mike W, Heather S, Cheyenne Duffany, Son with no last name, Ryan Haglund, Maddie Keener, Eric Bailey, and all of our patrons. You're fucking amazing.
Thank you, everybody, so much.
Truly.
You're wonderful, fantastic bastards.
Yeah.
We love the shit out of you. Thank you for hanging with us, and thank you for keeping this ship afloat all these years. We love you for it so much, and we're very excited. You want to follow us, either one of us, on social media, you can do that so easily, and you should. You should follow both of us and hang out with us. You can do that over shutupandgivememurder.com, drop-down menu. Get there, do that, live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus